been hit.
Cool, we're live.
Are we? Are we really?
Are there humans? Can the humans hear us?
I have streamed. Let's see if... Are there any humans?
I need to mute this device.
Right now it is saying there are 0 viewers, but we are actually showing up in a little preview thing, so I think people can hear us. Probably everyone expected us to go live at 8 since we said 7:30. That's what I would expect.
Miguel, how do you mute
I
this?
said 7:30-ish.
Is it making noises?
Yep, sure is.
It just has a volume thing there. But yeah, no one seems to be viewing us yet. But everything else seems to be fine. So we can start talking to ourselves.
Cool.
Okay.
Specifically, we can start drinking that Rattler. There are people.
There are
Hello,
people.
people.
Yay, they can hear us. Hi.
People are viewing as heck.
Okay,
so
the
this
heck
our
is happening?
actual sound. Oop. Oh, this is the tangle of wires. Did I disconnect anyone?
Nope.
No? Okay.
So
Okay.
that is quite quiet. Hopefully the voices will
This
be
is
okay.
just the menu.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to be streaming Day of the Tentacle, which is a fairly late in, I think, the history of LucasArts doing adventure games. There's like maybe 2 or 3 after this that I think came out. I could be wrong, but that, so at least in my personal history, it was one of the last ones. And as I said on Twitter, I think this one might not have the best story. I think that's still Grim Fandango, but in terms of its structure, the way it like structures the puzzles and the story is probably the best of that era.
I've never played this at all, and frankly, I bounced off pretty hard off most LucasArts adventure games. I tried playing the original Monkey Island and was not able to do anything.
How old were you? I'm curious.
Younger, but probably around the same age that you were playing this. So
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see.
I was raised on Zork, though, to be fair, the original King's Quest.
Is that legal?
Yes, but barely.
Woof.
I played a ton of Maniac Mansion, just a ton of it.
Again, aren't there laws about raising children correctly?
I played some LucasArts stuff, but I was mostly a Sierra partisan. I played a ton of Sierra point and click. So, but by the time I got
That's
to
the hard stuff.
it is the hard stuff.
That'll ruin
But part
you.
of why I never played this one was it seemed like it was a big divergence from Maniac Mansion, so I wasn't really sure what to make of it. So I'm really curious.
Well, I'm excited to find
Yeah.
out.
It is still good. It is as I remembered. Christine brought some German rattlers back with her from Germany.
I've never tried it, so I'm excited. Oh shit, that's good.
This is why I didn't drink any beer in Germany.
Fair.
So listen to that ad lib sound.
So I think this is a bit quiet for us.
Mine isn't quiet.
Mine's pretty quiet.
Oh, 'cause, yeah. I can turn it up.
Okay.
Is that good?
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
I don't think you should drink that. It looks bad for you.
Nonsense. It makes me feel great. Smarter. More aggressive. I feel like I could. Like I could.
The animation is so good.
This is so 90s.
Like I could. Take all the world.
Look, Hoagie, it's a hamster. Just what I need for dissection lab tomorrow.
I think I need that for the band, Laverne. You know, like we could bite its head off or whatever.
Hands off that hamster.
Friend of yours, Bernard?
There we
He
go.
belongs to Weird Ed Edison, and it looks like he's brought us a note. It's from my old friend, Green Tentacle.
Try.
He says that purple tentacles mutated into an insane genius to kill them both. I thought I was free of Dr. Fred and those crazy Edisons forever. But now I know that I must go back to the mansion.
This animation is just unfathomably complicated from the perspective of a Mac user. This is like television level stuff.
This is the crazy thing, is while there was a CD-ROM version of this game, I played the disc version and it looked like the animation was unchanged.
Wow.
Like this was a disc game.
That's amazing.
So it was just the same game but with the text instead of...
They did, I think they did talking for the beginning and then they cut it out once you get into the game.
Wow.
In the,
Oh, okay.
the disc version. Yeah, it was an early talkie, but after Loom. Yeah, look at that!
Wow.
It's excessive. Looks like the only one of us who's played this before is Miguel.
Yeah, this intro is just so good.
So for
Like,
the...
I wonder if they're doing anything to store this, because like this is all black, right? Like the
Yeah.
like the car animation. It makes me think of I don't know, like Another World had
Yeah. No, I think
incredible animation. And it was all like vector done.
they definitely
These are-
had some sort of tricks to get this.
But there's also, like, there's a lot of smears.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Like-
this is
like
some
single-
real good Looney Tune ass.
Like
shit.
single pixel smears. This was done like... So we have the option of playing this in like this classic mode or in a remastered version. And the remastered version all looks like it's been like 2x psi upscaled or something.
I've watched
Have
this
Miguel,
many times.
Miguel, have you played this game more than once?
I owned it as a child. That's all you need to know.
Okay, we'll spread out commando style. Laverne, you go secure the area behind those double doors. Hoagie, you take care of upstairs reconnaissance.
Hoagie.
I'll maintain Command HQ here, in the lobby.
What are we looking for?
We've got to find where Dr. Fred is holding the tentacles.
This better not take too long. I've got an anatomy final tomorrow.
And I've got a show to set up later tonight. If I'm late, I don't get to test the drums.
If I know Dr. Fred, he's got the tentacles tied up in his secret lab. Question is, where's his secret lab?
So we'll have to figure out what the best control system is. This was originally made to be played with mouse and keyboard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Someone was asking for subtitles, which we can do.
Oh, yeah. Game settings, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the title screen there's this TV that's blaring at you and occasionally it says to call 1-800 Wars.
Which I believe was the hint line.
Do we want to try switching to the dial mode?
Yeah, let's have a look at what the dial mode is. 'Cause
That feels like it's probably gonna be the better one.
the way you'd play it on a PC was you'd have the keyboard shortcuts for all the verbs. You could switch between them quickly.
Which I feel like is not a great way of interacting with.
It kind of makes some sense to me. This game was oh, that's different.
Oh,
Did
it
they-
zooms in.
Did they cut off the...
No, because at the bottom was just where the
It
verbs
looks
went.
broken, but there's
Oh.
something in the coin return.
So what's a dial? Oh, wow. Oh, so this is interesting because like normally one of the challenges of this game
1952.
is that you can't tell...
Oh, weird. It's not all of the verbs, though.
It's only the ones that are allowed. But normally that's kind of like a puzzle is what
Yeah.
germs are
Maybe
allowed.
we do want to do it the other way for a bit, at least. Unless we get stuck.
This is definitely easy. Honestly, these pixels are actually a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
This is a lot.
We're watching on this on like a 55-inch TV, so it's...
Also, it's really weird how the labels are... Like, the labels drawn on top are 1080p against this... It's just... weird as all. But also, like... I don't know, so there's this wild, goofy art style to this, and like... That font at the bottom is hard to read.
Yep.
Close talk. To pull.
Out of order.
Like, how do you select a verb though?
It
Bottom.
defaults to look at.
But
Right,
then like
but
you've
how
got,
do you change them?
but you've got like all the face buttons are. So you either click on.
No, it's not face buttons.
You either click on a verb at the bottom.
Can I have a quick look?
But then that moves the cursor.
The D-pad does. No, it doesn't.
Object
weird.
highlight.
Squares interact.
Out of order.
It might want you to just go down and back up again.
Yeah, it might
This
be.
is when we need the SNES mouse.
No, because you can't, like, you can't. Like, is it click on one then?
Yeah, when you tap it, it says push. So push payphone. Oh, it's actually hinting you. It's like anything. Okay, so if you mouse over a door, I bet open and look at will both activate.
No, it's just look at was the default. Oh wait, no, it said
Yeah.
open there for a second.
The open. Try pointing at Bernard's crotch.
Okay.
Yeah.
It
So
won't budge.
so whenever you mouse over something, it tells you which verbs are allowed for that object.
It's stuck to the
Okay,
floor.
X will it will show that highlight, but if you look at below that, it says push down with dime stuck on it.
It's stuck to the floor.
So it's actually doing that. Whereas I think one of the
Spearmint.
That's look.
My favorite.
so look, use,
Wait, which one's looking? Which one's using?
look.
Ah, okay.
Spearmint.
That's not so
my
bad.
This
favorite.
definitely feels a lot more confusing than the dial.
Definitely.
But it was like with a mouse, it made more sense. It's
Yeah.
just the. So I think it was like right click would be.
Especially if
look
like the
at.
keyboard shortcuts were like laid out as like a.
So, use.
If you could use one of the analog sticks to
order.
pick an item in the like quick pick an item down there, and maybe we would have done this different.
So you could try putting the.
Would you look at the grandfather clock? This looks suspicious.
There's something funny about that clock.
That's what I said.
There's something funny about that clock.
What about the picture? Who's that?
Aha! A secret passage. This is all too easy.
Laverne, how'd you get upstairs?
Am I upstairs? I got lost.
Seen any tentacles?
What's a tentacle?
Oh, just something I whipped up in my spare time. Made good pets, actually. Until one of them tried to take over the world. Had to tie the little buggers up in the basement.
Good thing you told us that.
Yeah, Bernard wanted us to set them free.
Thank God you weren't that stupid. Did you say Bernard?
If you turn down the music, it's kind of loud.
Okay, you're free to go.
Thanks, Bernard.
Yes, thank you, naive human.
Yeah, there's the 1-800.
Switch the verbs for insanity.
Now
Yeah.
I can finish taking over the world.
Wait!
Oh, yeah. Now I remember. He's incredibly evil, isn't he?
I'll try to talk him out of it.
Hands.
Only evil people have hands.
Well, what possible harm could one insane mutant tentacle do?
Leaping lab rats!
Dr. Fred.
What have you done this time, you meddling milquetoast? Now Purple Tentacle is free to use his evil mutant powers to take over the world and enslave all humanity!
Whoops.
Our only hope now is to turn off my sludge-o-magic machine and prevent the toxic mutagen from entering the river.
Isn't it a little late for that, Doctor?
Of course, that's why I'll have to do it. Yesterday, through the time machine.
This is all your fault, Bernard.
Behold, children, the Chronogon.
Aw, can't you just send Bernard?
No, you must all go to increase the odds that one of you will make it there alive.
Have any people ever been hurt in this thing?
Of course not. This is the first time I've ever tried it on people.
This continues our Games with Time Travel series.
Well, I'll be.
Bernard, float over here so I can punch you.
This must be that Woodstock place Mom and Dad are always talking about.
They used that joke on The Simpsons.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Die. Die. We may not live to see yesterday.
I'm sure Dr. Fred wouldn't have done this if it weren't safe.
After all, he is a doctor.
What? I can't believe it. And they said imitation diamond wasn't good enough. Uh-oh.
There are just some goofy ass jokes in this.
Ew.
God, the amount of animation in this.
Yeah, wow.
What happened to Hoagie and Laverne?
I knew I should have bought a real diamond.
Are they alive?
My dials say that the larger specimen landed 200 years in the past, and the other is stuck 200 years in the future.
Well, hurry up and bring them back.
I will, as soon as I get a new diamond. Then all your buddies have to do is plug in their respective chronogons and...
Plug them in? Where is Hoagie going to find an electrical outlet 200 years in the past?
Yes, well, he'll be needing my patented super battery then, won't he? Now, where did I put those patented super battery plans of mine?
Plans? How are we gonna get Hoagie plans?
Don't worry me with details, boy. Just help me find the plans. They're in this house somewhere.
Now what am I going to do?
I think I made myself perfectly clear. Step 1, find plan. Step 2, save world. Step 3, get out of my house. Let's get cracking.
Did you mean to switch modes?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a lot of options.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is... To me, this seems a little overwhelming. Especially because none
I
of
don't
these
wanna cause
icons
any
seem
more
really...
trouble.
Oh, does the bottom thing bring up your inventory?
Yeah.
Maybe. Ah, okay.
I guess it is sort of nice that, like...
I guess they redrew that with new pixel art.
Hey, what happens if you switch this to the...
Maybe I put them upstairs.
What happens if you
That's
switch
got
modes?
to be it. Upstairs.
Like this.
Yeah, how's the animation look like this? Ugh.
I don't.
This actually doesn't look so bad, but that scrolling's a little weird.
Really, I feel like this is kind of.
It's the limited frames when it's not pixel art.
What's the? I mean, that's just cartoons, right? What's on the to-do list?
Warning. Output from this device is highly toxic and may cause tyrannical delusions if ingested.
Oh, do you want to also try switching the audio?
Oh yeah, let's see what the difference is between.
This has original and remastered audio, and I'm suspecting that the remastered audio might be better than.
And try the
original,
sound effects
like,
as well.
Sound
Remaster.
Blaster.
Yeah. No sound? Here we go.
It looks like a generator driven by a treadmill.
Can we check out the to-do list?
Hmm?
What's on the to-do list?
Where's the to-do list?
Right there, it says to-do.
Oh yeah. And one of the buttons highlights all the interactive objects, which was not something that was available back in the day.
Object highlight, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
What are your options on the to-do list?
It's just.
Okay.
Yoo-hoo! Dr. Fred?
So it seems like they've orchestrally redone Chuck the Plant.
Talk to Chuck.
A horticultural horror. I can't touch it, it's spiny. I can't touch it, it's spiny.
Can you not force a talk option?
No.
Okay.
Help wanted. Lab assistant. Hard-working moronic drone needed to assist genius with experiments. High school diploma not required. That one looks like it's from a local hardware store.
You pick it up. Number one rule of adventure games: grab everything.
Right.
Oh, have a look at. Can you look at stuff in your inventory? I can't remember if that was an option in.
No.
Yes.
It's from George's Hardware. George says that every American should have a vacuum cleaner in their basement.
900 number. So this is a little bit of a discussion we were having before, but I somewhat suspect that if Darth Vader, how cute! I a little bit suspect that if
Gee, Dr. Fred doesn't have a penny.
there's a dime, it's on the floor.
Boy, the Edisons are a spectacularly ugly family. There's some correction fluid in it.
Oh, you take the correction fluid.
I can't see it, but there.
Oh.
Poo poo be gone.
So my theory before we started was that
Wow, it's from my favorite movie. I hope no one's watching. I look so goofy on video.
Stares directly into not the camera.
Yep.
Looks like Dr. Fred wearing a powdered wig. Handsome in a way, but I'm glad he eventually accepted his hair loss.
Oh, look what you dial the. Oh.
I wasn't okay.
I left my little black book at home.
Oh, use the flyer on it. The flyer had a number on it, right?
mm,
Yes.
I like how
I'm
we don't
not
know
entirely
why
sure
we
what
want
we're
to.
doing.
Rather not.
Okay.
Open the safe.
I'm sure we don't know that.
Yeah, but I want to make Bernard tell us that. I've got a very particular approach to adventure games, which is try everything on everything.
But
always.
so far we don't even know what we're doing.
I've never gotten over my childhood fear of Uzo.
Fair?
Push Uzo. Push Uzo.
I don't like this.
Not with what's left of my fingernails.
Ugh.
That was open Uzo.
Wait, oh.
Air conditioning, I guess.
Oops.
Not with what's left of my fingernails. I hate that clown.
No, I hit pull!
Can you pull the grate?
Hey, boy, you missed the party.
You and the clown were having a party?
No, last night. At the Novelty Good Salesman's Convention. I tell you, we Novelty Good Salesmen know how to have a good time.
You haven't seen any plans for a super battery around, have you?
Battery? I wouldn't know about anything like that. I'm just a novelty goods distributor specializing in cigars. So, want a cigar?
Sure, lay one of those Havanan babies on me.
Thought I was gonna blow your head off there, didn't you? Well, you were right.
The use of musical stings is really aggressive.
It really is.
You shouldn't smoke. It's a bad habit.
So fuck that guy.
Who is this?
That cracks me up every time.
Like, I do really appreciate just the willingness to mug, like, directly at the player.
Yeah.
So like, I think we're discussing like all of that like kind of ad-libbing music, stuff that just sounded normal in ad was gonna sound kind of like circus music if you redo it with an orchestra.
Boy, that's a precision-made novelty device.
It's covered with unrecognizable, useless junk.
It's,
Done.
it's a good way to handle the...
Disgusting. I don't even want to touch that gunk.
Can you die in
I
this?
don't even want to
No,
touch that
that's
gunk.
one of the rules of LucasArts games is you cannot die.
That's really interesting because that's not a rule in.
In Sierra
Hey,
games,
what?
it's one of the big innovations they made over
Well,
Sierra
what I mean
games.
is it's not a rule in the Maniac Mansion games.
Looks
Ah.
like they all escaped.
But Maniac Mansion has a really unusual approach to death.
Maniac Mansion was really early on in them
I
figuring
think
out
it
what
was
they
their
were doing.
it was their first adventure game,
It
wasn't
was
it?
their
No
second.
use in doing
I
that.
heard
It's
it.
empty.
I can't
No
remember.
use in
It's
doing that,
so
it's empty.
it was a complete failure, I think. Or maybe it did. I'm not sure if it came first or Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. But both of those have death. They're before like they'd figured out their deal.
Maniac Mansion's weird because it's
My
sort of
hurting
like
teeth.
Yes, you're hurting teeth.
Maniac Mansion's got like it gives you 3 lives, but like
Jump, you little sucker.
are we trying to herd it onto the table somehow?
I don't know anything about anything.
This is sort of what I like about this game is that there's so many things to just mess around with.
Yeah, this is really
So part of what you spend your time doing is just like doing practical
A handle
jokes.
attached to a rotating shaft which transmits and modifies rotary motion and torque.
Give-
I like that the verbs aren't really, like, Like, I liked that the little icons reveal that, like, their actual interpretation of verbs was in a much more naturalistic way than, like... Wait,
Crank it,
what?
crank it.
Okay.
So I assume that you're supposed to like move the crank to the window.
I guess that
carefully.
actually is just,
Oh, you don't have a
Okay,
flag.
so in that case, that actually was genuinely give crank to, but, like,
Yeah.
they definitely reinterpreted some as, like, open.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the original, like, it didn't give you any hints
Sounds
as to what
like
you could or
fun,
couldn't
but
do.
I
So they had
thought
to be,
what
like, kind
to
of
do.
really...
There's no flag on it now because it's evening. Not much to see in there. It's stuck. It's stuck.
What's that thing?
It's a pulley.
Wow, a pulley. By using a combination of flexible materials and a wheel, one may gain mechanical advantage by changing the direction of motion and the applied force.
Look, and we're also learning basic physics. Can you open that one?
I can't. It's stuck.
Try give crank to pulley.
It's already open.
Oh.
Yeah, people are saying Monkey Island was the first where they got rid of death, which I think sounds about right.
You're saying there's one bit where you could die, but it's like,
So somebody actually mentions it there. It's the rubber tree joke. You basically fall off a cliff. It loads up a Sierra style like
I
death.
bet there are better decorated rooms in prison.
A Sierra style death message, and then suddenly he reappears back on the cliff and just says rubber tree.
It's not
Well,
exactly
there's also
the Ritz.
you can drown, right?
I think technically you
But
can.
it's really hard. Like
It's extremely hard. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that was some nice color.
oh no! Oh no! So evil!
monsters.
So I think they just intersperse those every few like moves.
Is this like a time travel thing or something?
It is gonna become more and more time travel thing.
Sorry, not time travel, like a time limit thing.
I know. There's no.
Okay.
It's closed.
Basically, they realize that death isn't generally very interesting in adventure games.
Right.
And so they got rid of that completely.
Right.
So I think all the backgrounds are like art that was scanned in, just by like how the anti-aliasing and such looks.
Interesting. The animation a lot of the time feels very like single pixel smears and stuff, but
Excuse me.
What is it? I'm rather... Say, aren't you Bernard Bernoulli?
No, my name is Threepwood.
No, my name is Threepwood.
Nice try, but I never forget a fake. You broke into our mansion a few years ago to save your little friend. What did you come for this time?
I'm a repairman. I've come to fix your VCR.
There's nothing wrong with my VCR. You keep your paws off of it.
I bet that's a hint.
it might be a joke with the last game where Bernard.
I was just
fixed
admiring
things.
your. What the hell is with the statue?
What is
I'm
with that
just admiring
statue?
your statue.
Thank you. It's been in the Edison family since colonial times. One of Fred's ancestors carved it.
This is quite an array of gadgetry you have here.
Yes, it's the best surveillance system in the state.
It's really
Is
focused
that-
on the
that's a
VCR.
7000 VCR?
It sure is. It's got a dual tape speed motor with cobalt casing. Don't touch it.
Are those xenophobe crystal matrix monitors?
They sure are. They're so
They
clear
hate
you can see
outsiders?
screens on the bedroom walls. Don't touch.
Do you think I could play with these a bit?
Absolutely not.
How's Dr. Fred doing?
Well, he's still upset about the family financial situation, seeing that it's his fault and all. But he seems a lot better now that he stopped sleepwalking.
is that?
What's wrong with sleepwalking?
Ordinarily nothing. But when Fred sleepwalks, he remembers a combination to the safe. I'd find him in the office, opening it, screaming like a cat in the oven, and slamming it again. Something about what's in there really scares
Is
me.
this a Maniac Mansion joke?
Unfortunately, I was never able to catch the combination since he works it so fast.
How did he wreck the family finances?
Well, we should have made millions on the computer game they made of it. But the resident genius locked the contract in the safe in his office and forgot the combination.
How did he manage to stop sleepwalking?
He stopped sleeping. Fred drinks a lot of coffee. Me, I only drink decaf.
You haven't seen any plans for a super battery around, have you?
Super battery, huh? Fred might have something like that.
Fred is the one who told me to find them.
Oh,
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
See if you can push her since she's on a wobbly
come
chair.
back anytime, you big hunk.
There were a couple of original Maniac Mansion references in there. Use the VCR, no!
Ooh, baby, what a man.
You ain't kidding, precious.
Is that a man attempting to commit suicide?
Something strange is going on in there. It's Dr. Fred's office. Nothing going on in there. It looks like a physics professor I knew in the 2nd grade.
Steal the VCR.
Get away from that. Get away from that.
I see a large pulsating lump with blue stripes on it. It's signed, Edna, thanks for giving me the fever. Creepy. It looks awful heavy. It looks awful heavy.
Sparkletone, please do keep track of how many times Bernard gets owned for us. We won't have the time to do it ourselves.
This is the design of this is in many ways.
Hey, aren't you Weird Ed Edison, the paramilitary nut?
Why, yes,
Yeah.
Hey, do I know you?
Yeah, I'm Bernard Bernoulli. I broke into your house 5 years ago, kidnapped your hamster, broke into your piggy bank.
No, doesn't ring a bell, but I can't remember much about that period anyway. My psychotherapist thinks something traumatic happened to me back then that I'm blocking out.
So you gave up the crazy military commando thing?
I'm much better now. I don't have those bad thoughts anymore. Now I collect stamps.
That's quite a nice collection. Can I have it?
No, no. They mean a lot to me. Sometimes I think they're the only friends I've got.
How about the hamster reading the newspaper?
Nice hamster. Does he do tricks?
No, he just sits there. I used to have a really smart hamster, but something happened.
Okay, so if you played the non-NES version, because this was one of the things that was censored.
No, I had the original pressing of the NES version.
Oh, which does have it, yeah.
What?
It was actually pretty difficult to die in Maniac Mansion, but one of the only ways to die in Maniac Mansion is if you hurt Weird Ed's hamster.
By putting it in the microwave, right?
Yeah, and then he'd just kill you.
So this is all references to that.
Right.
They actually shipped an NES copy with that in it before?
And then Nintendo found out.
Pre-ESRB.
But it was actually really weird because Nintendo found out and made them take it out. But Nintendo Power thought this was great. And Nintendo Power was like, if you get one of the early models, you can do this. But then they took it out. The censorship in the original is really weird because they complained about it a lot, but almost everything they changed is actually slightly funnier because there were a bunch of like really blatant things that they kind of turned into innuendo, and innuendo is funnier than just coming out and saying it. One of the only bad things was like there was like a Venus de Milo statue that they made them take out, so they replaced it with like a weird spacesuit or something. That was too bad, but like a lot of the jokes were.
I feel like it should have been like Venus in a spacesuit, or like a spacesuit in a half shell.
So both of the references, I think that when you looked at it, it was just like, what is this?
So just so people can see what Maniac Mansion is like, actually let's get through this dialogue, and then I
What
think.
happened to the old hamster?
I don't remember. When I try, all I can think of is a flash of light and a terrible sound.
That hamster really should get some exercise.
Well, Dad puts him to work down in the basement sometimes. But then he starts sweating, and then he gets wet, and then he gets cold, and then he refuses to work.
Your dad or the hamster?
Are you making fun?
No,
I get upset when people make fun of me.
I just meant...
Oh, it makes me so mad. I just want to relax. I want to relax. I'll be okay if I just focus on my stand.
What was the horrible sound? Let's find
No.
out.
Horrible sound.
It was sort of like ding. Oh God, I hear it in my dreams till this day.
Are all your hobbies this fascinating?
I don't have any other hobbies. These stamps are my whole life. If anything were ever to happen to them...
I don't like this foreshadowing.
How are the folks?
Well, Dad's in the basement doing an experiment. Mom's in the next room spying on a honeymoon. Ted's in the front yard.
Holding up a bowl of lard?
Well, it's a bird bath, actually, but it rhymes better your way.
Well, I hope I didn't get you too excited. Bye.
Peace be with you.
I like the sort of interesting ways they came up with like what happened to these characters since.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Hello, little computer. I respect you, even though you've only got...
Could I just be talking to everything this entire time?
Start.
Jeepers.
So this is the original Maniac Mansion.
Is this the NES version or the original?
It's the original.
Okay. 'Cause the NES version actually had weirdly different art.
So if you picked different characters in this, there was actually different puzzles you could solve. I've played
Yeah.
very little of this because you die very
It's
quickly.
really, really interesting. There's, oh my god, is this the original audio?
Yeah.
What would be really funny is if they... Wait, let the song play.
It's not as good as the Zach McCracken song.
It's good.
Zach McCracken song slaps. This is before Tim Schafer came onto the writing team.
It's really funny, though.
IBM Sounds by Dave Worrell, David Haynes. This was PC speaker without a sound card.
The NES version had really good music, actually.
Better sound chips than a PC.
Better sound chip.
This
A
is
sound
perhaps
chip.
not great.
It's good.
What's crazy is they had multi-channel sound, which was like that.
Bernard, don't be a tuna head!
Bernard, don't be a tuna head.
So is that another time that Bernard got owned? Do we count that?
I think the tuna head thing was like in video game magazines for decades. So I think we're up to 3 onages of Bernard.
Yeah, somebody's saying even for PC Speaker, this is pretty well arranged. Like PC Speaker was not supposed to be able to do multi-channel sound. and they somehow hacked it too. Like, I think it was basically you could sort of send a wave to a speaker.
So just getting inside is actually kind of difficult. Like, this is the first set of puzzles you need to solve.
And you can see just how large the verb set is.
Yeah.
This is a lot of verbs.
But it's all kind of like... you went from here to this game, and that, like, a lot of these verbs are, like, slightly redundant.
I feel like in later stuff they started to lower it
so you,
low
like,
that it stopped being
Okay,
a
that
puzzle
wasn't...
often.
Pick up doormat. You could have done pull doormat. A few of these things would have worked. There's... So... one of my favorite pieces of game criticism of all time, and I actually really do recommend this, is a piece by Winter Lake on an old blog of hers titled Moo Foundation about Maniac Mansion. And she talks about the verb list as being like a really kind of early, just an artifact of how early this is. This is about the most complicated verb list in any game ever.
I think Zach McCracken had basically the same one.
Okay.
But they're very much of the same era.
Yeah, but then there's a lot of Winter's pieces about the fact that over time the verb list got pared down more and more. Like later games had CR games had like 8 verbs, and later games had like 3 verbs, and then like there's kind of a branch where like adventure games went into the missed path, which is one meta verb which is used and is very vague.
Yeah.
Or else the verb list disappears and gets replaced with an inventory. But then this like really deforms the design of the games, because if you have Myst style games, like Myst is all about like really complicated machinery, because the environment needs to pick up the complexity that your verb list
literally
had.
one inventory item that you could not take out of that room.
Yeah.
A match.
Well, my dear, I hope you're having fun. Within minutes it'll all be over. You'll be hooked up to my machine, getting your pretty brains sucked out.
He seemed nicer when I talked to him.
Well, you'll never get away with this. Dave and his friends will rescue me.
New kid is the verb you pick to switch characters.
You and your meteor can eat slime. That's what she thinks. Heh heh heh.
Oh man, that walk.
Oh yeah, that's real good. Well, this seems fine.
Very okay.
The problem you start to get with ones where they've reduced the verb to just use is that you start to have things where you meant to do one thing and something else happens because it's so unspecific.
Want some food? Come, I got you!
Wow. These characters have changed a lot.
How silly of me. I should have tied you to my bed. Nintendo didn't like that line.
So shall we switch back?
So this is the thing about... Oh my god! Nintendo didn't let them do that either.
I can't get what is to work.
Huh.
Keep switching
Try...
it to...
Is there a look?
Oh, what is, I think, is just
I wonder if
mouse
I know 'em.
over things in what is to see what they are,
Oh.
because the art often was hard. Like, this is actually higher res art than the EGA art, I think, was on the PC. I'm not sure exactly what version. Secret Lab.
So one other, the other thing that went on about was that in the like the inventory games, like it was still like the environment has to pick up the personality you don't have. So like the items just got wackier and wackier and wackier, right? So like in order to prevent that kind of like confusedness, right? Instead of like a pulley, you'd have like a rubber chicken on a fish, like on a fishing line or something. Anyway, spoilers, in the previous game, this entire family was being mind-controlled by an evil meteor, which is why they were acting strangely in blue. And the reason I went, at the
Were you able to
sleepwalk...
just take the hamster?
Yep. Oh yeah.
The reason that I was going, at the sleepwalking is there are implications that at night Dr. Fred was committing cannibalism
Bernard,
while
what are you
sleepwalking.
doing up here? Well, I couldn't stop Purple, and he's gonna go out and conquer the world, and I'm afraid of what he'll do if he catches me, if Dr. Fred doesn't find me first.
And the,
Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Hey,
What's up, Bernard?
you haven't seen Dr. Fred's plans for a super battery around, have you?
No, just these world domination plans. Any of Fred's plans would probably be in his office or the lab.
What do you suppose Purple's up to now?
Well, he wants to take over the world. I figure he's up to something devious.
Conducting cryogenic experiments on small animals?
I wouldn't doubt it, but I was thinking more along the lines of politics.
How's your new band doing?
Green tea and the sushi. We're doing great. We've decided to really capitalize on our strongest quality as a band.
So it's intoxicating three-part vocal harmony, provocative lyrical content, carefully crafted melody and distinctive counterpoint. Really, which quality is that?
Provocative lyrical content?
Volume, man. We have a chance to win a Grimy Award as the loudest new band. We're pulling out all the stops.
He's put the stuff back.
While he was being mind controlled, Ed created the tentacles to serve out his evil plans. The purple one was super into doing the evil plans. The green one just wanted to form a
Are you
band.
working on an album?
One of the ways to win the game was to get him a
we're doing
record contract.
Rap on the forehead. I've got a few tracks hooked up through the stereo if you want to hear them.
Weren't you looking for a new guitarist a while back?
Yes, but we decided to go with the guy who plays.
Nice!
We can generate a lot more sound that way.
Have you gotten any airplay?
No, we're a little too experimental for most radio stations, but we have a huge following in the club scene.
That's great.
Yeah.
Bernard's a supportive friend.
Why the litter
Why
box?
the litter box? Have you got a cat?
Don't ask.
I'm curious about the bowling ball.
How does a tentacle sit in a beanbag chair?
Oh, that part's easy. Getting back out of it was hard.
Can you actually use that bowling ball?
No, Purple brought that in here after his wrong. He got really discouraged, though, because he doesn't have fingers.
Want to help me save the world?
I'm afraid to leave the room. In fact, I don't think I can even move from this spot. Purple scares the daylights out
Well,
of
that
me.
sounds easy to animate.
Well, see you later, Green.
Really
Yeah,
the plans?
good luck in saving the world, B-Man.
Uh-oh, this looks like it might work. It looks too heavy for me to pick up.
Bernard.
I don't need to take over the world.
I like that he does also have a globe for.
Hoagie would really love these.
Oh, can you play the music on the? Like, there's a stereo system. Or something?
Yes. On up button.
Yeah, so like push is
Yeah.
Yeah.
the shove icon, even though it's
Wow, this is loud. There's no label, it's probably blank.
Again, the rule: grab everything.
Wait, what's that?
there's something that happened on the bottom floor, so
Yeah.
let's see.
Ah, no, it's reasonable.
I love that it's still shaking.
This is really good, actually.
So it's fake bar for people
How
who
did
can read
that
it.
get up there? I can't reach it up there.
Do we need to make the house shake more?
I don't know.
I
I
can't
don't
reach it
remember.
up there.
The plan! The plan!
What if we?
Now Now, where did Dr. Fred go?
Is that file cabinet? Oh. Circular prints left behind.
I like that they imply he actually really does have a really good plan, and this is just like... We can't fathom how tipping cows and stealing the emerald.
Just Santa Claus.
Good non-linear structure that you gotta get everywhere pretty quickly, different ways.
It's good. Guy with a chainsaw.
Like that's part of,
Actually, I call this more of a freak.
part of what's interesting about the structure of this one is like later adventure games are very linear and they have a few inventory items. The way this thing solves difficulty is there are just ridiculous numbers of puzzles everywhere and lots of stuff and places to go.
Yeah.
Um,
So the thing that was interesting with the first Maniac Mansion was it was non-linear in a way that nothing else has ever been non-linear. Oh no, don't. Christine, don't.
I mean...
Will you at least save first?
it won't be, nothing will be permanent.
Yeah, there's no...
But there's a hamster duplicator downstairs.
Nah.
Like, either there'll be a joke or it won't let you. I assume. That sounds like the game's idiom.
Can you put the hamster in the dryer?
It's a coin-operated clothes dryer.
You got a dime.
Who knows what surprises await inside?
Okay, I need to turn this music off.
Fair.
It's great.
Listen, it's this or the circus music. I really love both the shake and the wibble of the vomit. It's good.
I choose the music that doesn't have screen shake associated with it.
Oh! Nice.
I feel like some of these puzzles might require you to be a bit of an asshole.
Yes. Yes, I think that is one of the core motivators they count on.
That buzzing fluorescent light makes the beef jerky look especially attractive.
So you've got 2 coin-operated things and 1 coin.
I'd rather not.
It's useless. No one will ever be interested in my design, so I'm ending my novelty inventing career right here in this tacky motel. How appropriate. I can't even do this right.
Disappearing ink. Try talking to him.
Hi, my name's Bernard. What's yours?
Dwayne. Isn't that depressing?
There's some weird offsets on the, like...
Yeah, there's something going on.
It
with
wasn't
the
doing
text.
this before.
Yeah, it just suddenly changed.
You
Feels
haven't
like...
seen any plans for a super battery around, have you?
Super battery?
Like the
That
dog's playing
sounds even
poker.
worse than the things I come up with.
Gee, you look depressed.
What clued you in, Brainiac?
The stooped shoulders and long face?
I'm having a crisis here, a warehouse of anguish. I'm a novelty goods designer by trade. I've come up with some fabulous ideas. The exploding lollipop, itching powder gum, and reverse 3D glasses. The problem is, no one likes my designs. I send them all over the world and no one responds. I just wish someone would say they liked one just once. Oh, woe is me.
Maybe I can help cheer you up.
Oh, I can hardly wait.
Philosophy, philosophy.
Let's discuss philosophy.
Let's discuss philosophy.
Okay, here's my philosophy. Life is completely pointless, especially mine.
He's got you there.
Okay, let's. I'm not
Camus,
sure
Camus,
because
Camus.
they're so blue.
Okay. Nietzsche had some interesting ideas along those lines. Would you say that existence constitutes purpose? Have you read Camus? Okay, maybe I can't hear you up.
I feel like these are the same option.
Camus is just gonna make him kill more people.
Go
Have
for
you
it.
read Camus?
Oh, who cares? Philosophers are all failures like me who couldn't make it
Damn.
in a real profession.
Oof.
Nice music they pipe in here, huh?
It's from the Elevated Classics series. It seems like this one tune has been on all day. I've never been so depressed in my life.
I mean, fair enough.
What did you say your job was again?
I'm a novelty goods designer by trade. The problem is, no one likes my designs. I send them all
Okay, you
over.
can, yeah.
I like your design ideas.
Well, I didn't mean you.
Never mind.
So what else is there in the here?
Did the mansion get turned into a bed and
I
breakfast
can't
at some
see
point?
it very well from here.
The idea is that they've started
I
running
can't
it as a
see it
hotel.
very well from here.
Okay.
You can't see anything.
Okay.
I guess if they're out of money.
Pull the trigger, a humorous flag is propelled out of the barrel on a stick and unfurled. I can't see it very well from here.
This beautiful 4,000-carat diamond can be yours today for the special rock-bottom introductory price of $2 million. The number to call is 1-800-STAR-WARS. Don't miss this amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Oh, what if you can dial the
Now
number
there's
now?
a heavy sleeper.
Couch Potato Shopping Channel, Wanda speaking.
I want to buy a diamond.
That will be $2 million. Do you have a major credit card?
I have a numbered Swiss bank account.
What's the number, sir?
It's 846-427-35327.
I'm sorry, the Credotron shows that account to be empty.
Ahem.
Do you ever inhale flies when you snore like that? I'm trying to save the world from a nasty tentacle. You haven't seen any plans for a super battery around, have you?
I feel like we're getting all the answers we've been wanting.
I'll bet there's some place obvious. Well, thanks. You've been really helpful.
Can you look in the drawers?
On something?
I can't pick it up. That guy is lying on it.
Hamster. Hamster.
A hamster doesn't seem to.
So have you tried using the change character thing? Does it let us do that yet?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's powerful stuff.
No.
Okay. So we haven't gone to the point where the game really opens up. Which, fair enough, they've introduced enough things here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is.
It's pretty darn cool.
I'm really struck by just how incredibly dense all the rooms in this game are.
It's pretty darn cold. No way. There's things in there that look like they've been there for years. Doesn't anyone ever clean this thing?
God, this game is like, if you know some of the puzzles.
I'm sorry to do this to you, little fella, but it's for the future of the whole
What?
planet.
I do not remember this.
So, like, can you now pick up the hamster in the
He
future?
looks pretty angry. I'd better not. He looks pretty angry.
He's made his bed.
Well, alright.
We no longer have
I
a hamster.
guess that's just...
What made you think of doing that?
He gets hot when he...
Oh, yeah.
Like, I wasn't really sure where that
What's
was
in the front
going,
lawn?
but it seemed like...
Oh.
Yeah.
Get the vomit. Not sure what we use it for.
I bet we can trade it to... Things I noticed, we can trade fake bark to a novelty goods salesman for something. And there are 2 separate guns in the building. Neither of which work.
Yeah.
But they look the same.
I don't think that would look better wild.
So try opening this safe.
The safe is closed. I don't know the combination.
Can we use the red phone now?
Couch Potato Shopping
Okay.
Channel.
I want...
That
Uh, it's 8...
I'm
There's also outside we can go.
Oh, okay.
See the cousin who's...
It's Dr. Fred's design for a super battery. Storing up to 1 gigavolt with a charging time of only 0.01 seconds. Wow! I've got the plans.
Quick, we have to flush them to Hoagie.
How did you get over there?
So you probably could have done that right away.
Yeah.
My ingenious super battery design, please.
Hmm.
You really flushed them.
Yes.
Down the toilet.
No, through time. Using the highly sophisticated time flux hydraulic vortex chamber I've installed in each chronogen, you can flush small inanimate objects to each other through time. Flush small inanimate objects to each other through time.
Hello? Dr. Fred, can you hear me? Drat.
Did you hear something?
No. Let's see if what's his name catches on.
Oh, great. I'm stuck in colonial times. Tentacles are taking over. Now the toilet's back again.
Okay. Come over here. It's your old pal, Dr. Fred.
Dr. Fred, how'd you get in there?
I want you to pick up those plans you see in the chronogen, Hoagie. Bring them to Red Edison. He's my great grandfather. He'll know what to do.
You need the plans to make a super battery so you can plug in your chronogen.
Okay, if you say so, Bernard.
Good boy. Does he have any experience with electronics?
Well, I once saw him take 3,000 volts directly through his head without crying an eye.
Didn't he pass out?
Well, he was already passed out when it happened.
Time for me to save the world, I guess.
So we've been told to take the plans to his to Red Edison, who's his great grandfather.
I was gonna see if I could get my chips in the time that you were finishing that.
Nah, it stinks. I should plug that into the super battery once I get one made.
Upward, what's the button to see hints of what we can interact with?
I don't think it actually does
Hope
anything.
get that battery working. We're set.
I'm afraid not. We still need a diamond for the main unit. And your friend in the future needs power too, if she's still alive.
Alive?
Get me out of here. I like trees and everything, but this one has got
Oh
to
no. Oh no. Oh no, is that the puzzle?
Oh, I love Back to the Future.
This is extremely Back to the Future.
Oh, this is good.
The puzzles are gonna get really, like, I feel like time travel in games go really well together because
Yeah.
of the stuff you can.
I feel like there's so few really good examples of it though, so I'm excited how this goes.
Okay, so look at Tentacle.
Kumquat tree, very pretty.
It's totally covered with crud.
What's on our inventory? We have a can
The
opener,
can opener and
a patent application. Let's look.
I like how it just starts with the can
Oh.
opener.
Edison super salad battery, gold croutons, grow lettuce. You sort of like
It's the battery plans I'm supposed to give to that red Edison dude.
they've sort of set us up with a mission for each time now. So in one it's get the diamond, which means get $2 million, and in this one it's get the super battery. Oh.
It's closed.
yeah, I like the really wild perspective here.
Yeah.
They really like had fun with that stuff.
All the perspective's amazing.
You're brilliant. What a novel design. Come to Baltimore at once.
Oh wait, it was already a little bit weird playing without a.
Soon all the power of the heavens will be mine! All mine! If only we had some nasty weather!
Is Ben Franklin's descendant a novelty?
Yes, according to this.
Oh god. It's Uncle Ed.
I feel like that's pretty unrealistic.
What?
Any true descendant of...
Cool. The room clerk's a mummy.
I think he was in the first game.
Cool. The room clerk's a mummy. That would not be respectful.
Good to know Hoagie's respectful.
Besides, I might get caught.
Would be running cryptocurrency scams.
The Constitutional Convention. Comments, critiques, amendment to the Constitution.
It's Thomas Jefferson.
Hey, tall, dark, and spiffy. My name's Hoagie.
Well, how quaint. I am, of course, Thomas Jefferson, noted scholar, musician, horseman, student of the sciences, member of the bar.
Oh, sure, I've heard of you, dude.
What's in the can, Tommy? What are you guys doing in here?
Tommy.
Has anyone told you you're a very snappy dresser? Later, brah.
Later, bruh.
Bruh.
What's in the can, Tommy?
Thomas. My name is Thomas, and this, my chubby friend, is a time capsule. Filled with remembrances of our time to be revealed 400 years hence.
So, how's the time capsule going?
I'm sorry to say that except for my lord, we haven't done a thing.
What are you guys doing in here?
We're writing the Constitution of the United States. Right now, it's just a constitution, I'm afraid. We hit a slight creative block right after the preamble. That's why we put up a suggestion box over there.
Has anyone ever told you you're a very snappy dresser?
Why, yes. I studied at Virginia Coat and Technical, where I majored in color theory. I was captain of the varsity credentials.
Those are impressive credentials, Tom.
Thomas.
Dude, I loved your work on the Declaration of Independence.
Ah, thank you. What was your favorite part?
I like the S's that look like F's.
I like those S's that look like F's.
I see.
Well, later, dude.
What? What's going to happen later?
It looks like a martini shaker. It's big, it's heavy.
Ren and Stimpy reference. I like, that's a good example of the cool thing that the Scum engine could do, which is the engine it, was that they had stuff for dynamically switching music, which was fairly sophisticated for the time. So time to talk to Washington.
Oh no.
Excuse me.
Oh no.
Yes? Whoa, you're like George Washington.
Very much like him, according to my wife, Mrs. Washington.
Whoa.
Indeed.
Weren't you president or something? Is it true about you and the cherry tree? Do you really have wooden teeth?
We're gonna give him novelty teeth, aren't we?
As a matter of fact, I do make use of artificial teeth. I find them to be far superior to the ordinary enamel variety.
Wow, what do you brush them with? Don't you have a problem with splinters? Where can I get some of those? My Uncle Henry has false teeth too. Don't you have a problem with splinters, I think?
Yes.
Don't you have a problem with splinters?
I've been to war, boy. No one who's heard the thunder of musket fire, smelled the sulfur from a cannon blast, and felt the fear in the hearts of his comrades is going to be bothered by a little thing like, oh, blast it.
Well, what about termites? Well, what about woodpeckers? Well, what about dry rot?
Well, what about woodpeckers?
Hardly.
Wow, what do you brush them with?
I use a toothbrush, much like everyone else, and a bit of wood polish, of course.
Doesn't that taste... The amount that they just, like, randomly put stuff into their dialogue trees is kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure they're making great use of it. Like, I feel like these dialogue trees are a little bit, a lot of them are just kind of perfunctory.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's probably okay, right? Like, I'd rather have a dialogue tree where you're just jamming the first option over and over than, like... When dialogue trees,
it's not the worst failure case, it's just not super interesting.
I feel like when dialogue trees like this get complicated, they're really miserable because you wind up navigating the same thing over and over. That's something that happened a lot in the Indiana Jones game LucasArts made, was you'd, like... they had these really complicated, like, twine-like graphs in the dialogue trees, and they were all just... Like, it's more interesting for the...
is part of the problem.
Yeah, it's more interesting for the complexity to be, like, in the world, I think.
What I like is that they'll often just throw a bunch of jokes in the ones you read out, and then you only choose one of them. And
Yeah, that's a really good
actual
technique.
joke is in the dialogue tree, not in the delivery.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I've done a lot in Lady Killer.
Doesn't that taste awful?
Not if you take them out first.
Where could I get some of those?
They're rather expensive. Mine were custom made for me by my good friend Paul Revere.
So one thing I will point out is like we now know like just because it'll be funny, we could give him the exploding cigar. We have no idea why we would do that. But the possibility is there, and a lot of the jokes in this, and jokes/puzzles work that way in this. Where it's just like, this would be a funny thing to do, and later on you figure out like, oh, that's why I did that.
Yeah.
Didn't he ride a horse through town naked? Didn't he invent 3D glasses? Doesn't he have a band or something?
Didn't he invent 3D glasses?
I believe you have him confused with someone else.
See, a lot of those I think probably have the same answer, whatever you put there. It's the joke is actually in the dialogue.
Right.
Tree. What you present or something.
Is it true about you and the cherry tree?
Oh yes, it's quite true. Why, I've cut down acres of cherry trees in my day.
Could you give me a demonstration? I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother.
I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother.
Lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, there isn't. I only cut down cherry trees. Family stand, cherry trees.
Oh, God.
Cedar and kumquats.
This puzzle's gonna be really stupid, isn't it?
It is, but I feel like they make this puzzle stupid by making him ridiculous. Like,
no, it's really funny.
It's like I feel like adventure games work well as humor games because you can make the ridiculousness of the puzzles.
Yeah.
Right.
Ridiculousness in the people and the worlds.
But I mean, also ridiculous is good because it's often like very like straightforwardly understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have something that's like, if you had a realistic problem where you're trying to get rid of a tree, that's a very large possibility space. If you know that George Washington is only going to cut down that kumquat tree if he believes that it's a cherry tree, that's...
Excuse me.
Yes?
Weren't you president or something?
Weren't you president or something?
Yes, I expect to be chosen president unanimously. I'm very well connected. Do you think I should be the ecology president or the education president?
Depends on how many cherry trees you've chopped down.
Depends on how many cherry trees you chop down.
Well, I am quite the adept tree cutter. Men still tell tales of my youthful prowess.
I mean, the thing is,
I think I'll go
kumquat is a pretty funny word.
It's a really funny word.
Excuse me.
Yes?
What are you looking at out there?
The future of our nation.
Yes.
Kumquats? Oh god, they look
That
incredible.
young couple by the tree.
They're really good.
No,
I have
no.
one.
I was just admiring my reflection in the window. Striking, aren't I?
I've been thinking about what you said about cherry trees.
Pondering the great truth, eh? Well,
I think I'll go look at some trees right now.
See if you can do anything with the Declaration of Independence.
Oh god.
Or Constitution.
They don't seem to have gotten too far.
You can look, but don't touch. Hey, keep your hands off that.
It looks like a martini shaker.
Don't touch that, it's government property.
You don't have a government.
Yo.
Hello?
Yes, they do.
It's not a very... Well...
It was appointed by the king.
We have this recurring argument about her burning down the White House.
Never burned down the White House?
You were involved.
I was not involved.
Okay, technically, but...
Why don't you have some hot coffee?
Oh, I can't stand coffee. It makes me irritable and want to bang my head against the walls.
You say that as though it was a bad thing.
Do you have any idea how much it costs to fix a wall these days? It's a racket.
Why don't you build a fire?
Well, I keep asking Jefferson to build a fire, but he won't. Says he leaves the log for posterity and won't part with it.
He's going to give the log to starving children?
I don't get any respect around here. Why, I bet if George I spent the winter in Valley Forge, Washington was cold. We'd get some heat in here.
How come you signed your name so big?
How come you sign your name so big?
Astigmatism.
We see your palms.
Really? Let me see your palm.
Oh, stigmata.
All right. The truth is that a friend once told me that women go crazy over guys with a big signature.
Awesome blanket there, dude.
Thank you. It was given to me by my dear old colorless Aunt Patty.
Shouldn't you guys be working instead of just sitting there?
Writer's block. We can't think of any amendments or anything, so we put a suggestion box over there. I don't suppose you have any brilliant ideas.
What about free sandwiches for all roadies? No music in elevators? You could guarantee the right to free speech?
If we destroy elevator music in the past,
music
will the
in
guy be no
elevators.
longer depressed in the future?
No music in what?
Well, I gotta go.
Who is he?
John Hancock.
Oh, okay, so
I
that's
like-
why the signature joke.
I like the implication that John Hancock is just like Thomas Jefferson and George Washington's asshole friend that like they never got to go away.
Salad oil.
Is salad oil a type of oil?
I mean, I think they mean like Italian dressing.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
But thou must.
Bitchin'.
Can you look in the pantry?
Bitchin'.
I mean, I think you open it.
I can't open it.
He cannot open it.
You can't open it.
Oh, so we've got a bucket we could fill with water. No idea why.
Or salad oil.
Rap sheet thief. I think all of the trophies in this are set up to be like a criminal record.
I hope this wasn't used in the outhouses.
Oh, can we go up the chimney?
Hey, can you talk to the mummy?
What's up? Don't feel like talking, huh? Vow of silence or something, probably right.
Yeah, that's mummies, right?
I had something for Red Edison. Do you know where I can find him? Great hat, man.
I dig the three-cornered idea. I know some dudes in a band who'd eat roaches for hats like that. Know where I could get one.
I know some dudes in a band who'd eat roaches for hats like that.
Of course, they'd probably eat roaches anyhow. They're called insensitive spittoon. Knew where I could get them a couple hats extra big.
They're called insensitive spittoons.
Ever hear of them? They play funk, punk, folk polka, house grunge rock.
Oh, I think I saw them play in Peterborough once.
They play funk, punk, folk, polka, house, grunge rock. They're heavily influenced by bands like Limp and Harmonica and Howling Moon Rock and Limbo. Well, nice talking to you.
So do you get the sense from the animation that they like weren't originally planning for this game to be voice acted?
I think the idea of doing lip sync for a game was like way over budget.
It's covered with plans.
I just mean that like there'll be a lot of times that like they'll animate
Hey, that's a left-handed hammer, you know. I invented it myself. It was for my ungrateful slob of a left-handed son. Oh, well.
It looks more like a raincoat than a lab coat.
Hey! Only employees are allowed to use that lab coat.
Hey.
What is it?
You look kind of familiar.
Of course I do. I'm Red Edison, the inventor, not to mention owner of this inn. Perhaps you've seen my picture in some important scientific journal. Then again, maybe not.
Do you know Ben Franklin?
Franklin? I would never associate with that overstuffed goofball. He has the stupidest idea about one red lens.
I like this running
What are you
gag
doing?
about 3D glasses they've got
I'm
going.
inventing you, simpleton. What's it look like I'm doing?
I know an inventor who looks a bit like you.
Well, it's not one of my sons, that's for sure. It appears that I, Red Edison, foremost genius of my day, am to be the last in a long line of gifted inventors. My nearly indistinguishable sons have decided that they want to be artists. I think it was Jed's idea. Or is it Ned? Ah, well, the left-handed one at any rate. It must be some sort of bad blood on their mother's side.
What are you inventing?
It's a new size-independent fastening mechanism based on circular geometry.
what?
Keep asking, I think there might be.
What are you inventing?
It's a new size-independent fastening mechanism based on
Is it a
circular
button?
geometry.
I think it
I think it's a button.
Well, see you later.
You might if you cut that hair a bit shorter.
Try giving him the blueprints and see what
Yeah.
happens.
Also, was the letter his?
Super battery, eh? Brilliant design. Sometimes I amaze myself. Now all I need is oil, vinegar, and some gold.
Okay, so we've got oil already.
Ah, excellent.
Pasta's
I
light
need that for my super battery.
I know cooking.
Those founding fathers are driving me nuts. Flag design changes every 5 minutes. Well, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm making them a flag, ready or not.
Oh. It's Sam. Where's it, Max?
Here I am, don't get your curls in an uproar. Excuse me, Mr. Washington. done here. Bye now.
I wonder if she's somewhere else and we need to get her out of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a LucasArts thing of always putting Sam and Max into their games.
The late Max Addict. His petard runneth over. A lamentable fate for such a patriotic dude.
What does that mean?
You have to ask.
I told you guys I'll get to the flag next. I'm working as fast as I can.
Can you grab the plans?
Hey, chill. Take your time.
Don't tell me you've got another design change for the flag.
I've got another design for the flag.
I knew it. What's the current brainstorm from our fickle founding fathers?
What? Should it have a chrome-plated bald eagle robot on it? How about a skull with like a scorpion in its mouth? It should have a hologram on it somewhere. We need a babe in a leather bikini swinging a broad axe.
Oh, those are both good. Can we make this one
We
holographic?
need a babe in a leather bikini swinging a broad axe.
Oh, what the heck. At this point, I'd do anything just to have it over with. Put the pattern on the table, and I'll look at it when I'm done with this job.
Stars and stripes, dull, dull, dull.
Hey, don't criticize unless you got a better idea.
Gosh, I'd never want to mess with history.
He's better at this than the Wild Stallions.
Okay, so we don't currently have a pen or anything.
No.
Are we gonna at some point deliver the letter to
I don't
Ed?
wanna.
Red? Ed Red Redemption?
Hmm?
We have a letter for Ed downstairs.
The one about going to Baltimore.
Oh.
Wine bottle. Why do they have a penguin calendar?
I don't quite see how it can fly.
Oh.
Hey, what's that on the plan? It looks like a secret backwards message. Oh, it's just a coffee stain. Grody, man. I don't go through people's underwear. Looks like he spent a lot of time in there.
Oh, of course.
That was expected.
Was it?
Hi, horsey.
Hi.
What's a nice horse like you?
What's a nice horse like you doing in a place like this?
Hey, I live here. What are you doing here?
Sorry, talking horse?
I didn't think horses could talk.
Maybe they just never had anything to say to you. Ever think of that?
You mean horses have been
It's his nightmare.
I want to put it that way.
I'm trying to get back to the future and save the world.
Future, huh? And I thought that Franklin guy was out there.
Is this some kind of a trick?
I don't do magic. I'm just a horse.
Nice tea.
Thanks. I paid quite a bit for them.
Well, I gotta go.
See you later.
It looks like someone's dentures were in here.
Hey, I've got to put them somewhere.
I like how they're leaning so hard on the idea at some point we're going to need false teeth, but I still don't know why.
Question is, which one's stuffed and which one's the real McCoy?
I assure you that we are both real, but we are neither one of us McCoys. We are Edisons, Ned and Jed.
Who's who?
Does it really matter? Even our dear father can't tell us apart. He only knows that one of us is left-handed while the other is right, but that neither of us are following in his tiny scientific footsteps. Hold still, Jed. So, I'm almost too frightened to ask. Are you the marble delivery man? Or the model?
I'm the model. Should I take my clothes off now? I'm
That's
the
my
delivery man. Okay, if I unload in here. I'm no marble delivery man, but rock is my life.
I'm no marble delivery man, but rock is my life.
I'm sure that's terribly amusing. Where exactly did you come from?
The valley, the future. I can't really remember. I'm on the road a lot.
I can't really remember. I'm on the road a lot.
Oh, the road. Wait a second. What's that noise? I believe it's the road calling your name right now.
I'm the model. Should I take my clothes off now?
No. No, you most definitely should not. We couldn't get your body shape right anyway, unless we cemented 2 slabs of marble together. But then your statue would have a big seam in it.
That's okay. It would have.
Look, don't call us. We'll call you.
Dang. I'm the delivery man, okay, if I unload in here?
Actually, we are well supplied with medium, so thank you, no.
This ain't medium, it's the extra large stuff.
Please don't worry. We artists are very sensitive to your kind of people.
What kind of people?
Big, dumb people.
Sorry, hope I haven't jostled yet.
Too late.
Talk to Jed.
Wow, doesn't even blink.
Please do not perturb my model.
Wow, doesn't even blink.
Please do not perturb my model.
I like how the guy always waits to stop moving before talking, but...
Yeah.
Alright, I got it. If you mix the spaghetti, the bottle, and the brush...
I don't wanna. I wonder if there's anything to eat in it. These dudes might get mad.
Can you grab the hammer while he's not touching it?
Yes, apparently.
I'm a failure. Don't say that, Ned. Father was right. We Edisons are made to be scientists, not artists. Dear brother, we must be strong in these times of creative adversity. Why don't you let me take over for a while? I'll clean this rubble up and start over. You relax. Have a cappuccino.
What?
I'm glad we switched places. I think you're coming out quite well.
What? Does something different happen now when you try to push her out of the room? Like
Well,
she trips over the...
It's Ned or Jed's head. Wow, doesn't even blink.
Please do not
I
perturb
wonder what
my
happens if we
model.
talk to him now.
I think it's the same.
Okay.
Sorry, hope I haven't jostled you.
too late.
Yeah, see, something that I feel so good about the construction of this game is the fact that, like, you do shit because it'll be fun.
Right.
And while you're doing that, you're actually, like, making progress and solving puzzles.
Cats dig these. What a pretty pussycat. Yipe. Yipe.
Well, that was straightforward.
Very smart.
So objects in this time period include Jed's bed and Jed's head, as well as Ned.
It's already open. It's one of those pulley things. Nah. Nah. It's blocked up with somebody's bed.
Can you fit down the chimney?
Everyone's just really indifferent about that. Can you deal with the bird?
Yeah, what's the deal with that?
It's a little cage with a canary in it, perched above a little lever. Huh.
Here, take it.
I just really like how, like, there must have been some kind of, like, a brainstorming session. Like, all right, we can go back and forth in time to do puzzles. Like, what kinds of things do we want to change in the past that change the future? And someone must have said, like, what if you just kept switching back and forth a statue with, like, you could change a statue to another identical looking person.
But I would say, like, they did a lot of stuff where they just, like, the writer/programmers would over lunch just come up with crazier ideas.
Yeah, this definitely feels like there was a very long list of.
Okay, let's do this. We all know
God,
what we have to do.
left-handed hammer is just.
Yeah, and again, like, the reason that humor works so well for adventure games is that joke, like, that only works as a joke.
Yes.
The fact that it is illogical is what, like, makes it funny and work as a puzzle. Okay, how do I get to inventory down here?
I don't get it.
I don't know. Let's look at it.
Looks better now.
Vastly improved. Time to taunt Washington.
Excuse me. Yes? I've been thinking about what you said about cherry trees.
Pondering the great truths, eh? Well,
I bet you've lost it. You couldn't cut down a tree to save your grandmother.
lost it, have I? Why, I'd show you a thing or two if there were a cherry tree nearby. But as you can see, there... Oh, well, what do you know? There is a cherry tree out there.
Ah, my ancient nemesis.
Well, let's go chop the sucker down.
I said come down from there at once!
try to understand. I'm stuck in this.
Voila! You're quite a man. Yes, I know.
Get me out of here! I haven't done anything.
Well, you must have done something or you wouldn't be here now, would you? You'd be out in the lobby with your tentacle owner, getting dressed up for the human show.
Owner? No one owns me.
Gosh, no owner, you say? Well, don't worry about it. I'm sure someone will come adopt you before we have to put you to sleep.
Damn that Dr. Fred.
Hey, she knows the Edison family motto.
Dr. Fred, is that you?
What? You're nuts. There hasn't been a Fred in the Edison family for 200 years. The last Fred was such a shame to the whole family, not to mention the whole human race.
Well, who are you then?
I'm Zed Edison. That's my wife Zedna, and my son Ved.
It's the future.
Nice to meet you.
Future names.
Where am I?
You're in the ancestral home of the once proud Edison family. We were once the masters of this house, just as humans were once the masters of Earth. Now we are the servants, the pets.
And not very good at either one, I might add.
Oh, get bent, you overdressed nightcrawler.
How do I get out of here?
If I knew that, do you think I'd be here?
What's this about a human show?
It's a degrading farce. That's what it is. These slimy tentacles put humans in humiliating little costumes, do sickening things to their hair, and then force them to parade their ridiculous talents in front of unqualified judges who are paid off weeks in advance.
Didn't get in, eh?
They said macrame wasn't pointy-headed goons.
I heard that.
I'm tired of talking now. It's been a long day, and I'm only human. Best not bother them, they're busy cheating.
Oh, I forgot how great her walk cycle is.
Wow.
She's so relatable.
The steam and the smile. Oh, she doesn't smile the second time.
So never is interesting the second time. What's her name?
I can't remember now. Okay, take cards.
Hey, they can cheat, you can't.
What's in your inventory?
Oh, good idea.
You also hit triangle to pull it up.
She starts with a scalpel, and Meatloaf starts with a can opener. Can you murder Ed?
Fascinating.
Laverne.
I don't think killing an old man is yet.
Yeah, she's the best. No, I think I navigated that wrong. Use scalpel, okay.
I can't kill my fellow inmates. I don't even know them yet.
Try again once you get to know them better.
Oh, whoops.
You-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Get me out of here! This is a violation of my rights.
Rights? You're a human. You don't have any rights.
I have to go to the bathroom.
Ha, that's a good one. Imagine a human using a bathroom. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
It's attached to the chronogon. It's attached to the chronogon. I think I need to plug that in, but I don't think it's long enough to reach anywhere.
Okay, so we've got the problem. It's all there. God, that walks
Can you climb in that window?
I think it might actually be too small.
It's already open. I'm too big to fit through.
I like all the triangular windows.
Yeah.
Because
All
obviously.
all the little trees with like arms.
Oh yeah. And weird, like, just everything is now cone shaped in some way.
I mean, as we all know, normally windows are human-shaped.
Exactly.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about time.
I swear I don't mean to keep doing that.
She doesn't mind.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
Ooh, I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to throw up all over.
Uh-oh. Time to visit Dr. Tentacle.
Well, what have we here?
I feel pukey.
Indeed. All right, now hold still.
Are you gonna use your scalpel?
No, of course not.
Darn. Do you want to use mine?
No.
What? What? What?
Just as I suspected.
What?
There's nothing wrong with you, human.
What a letdown.
Well, I'm late for the show. I'll send your keeper back for you.
Maybe we need to send the fake bark back in time.
Stay. Good boy.
Send the fake what?
Send the fake bark.
Oh God.
Let's have a look at the human chart.
Did you notice
They've
the
got
Star
this
Trek door noises?
mixed up with the liver.
I like all the little
Oh,
symmetries
I've got
between
plenty
time.
of those at home.
What? I like the symmetries, like all like in
Licensed to treat tentacles for the betterment of the tentacle race.
cameras.
Licensed to euthanize humans for the betterment of the tentacle race.
Oops.
I still don't understand how they can eat through a sucker.
When in doubt, steal everything.
Can you do anything with the grates?
No, it doesn't look like it's interactive. But yeah, I bet the barf would be useful. Oh, although I guess we could just wander around now.
Laverne. I'm a sophomore.
My name's Harold. I'm a thoroughbred.
Is your hair naturally blue?
Natural? Oh gosh, this took several very expensive sessions at a posh grooming salon. I've got the hair competition in the bag.
That's quite a tutu you've got there.
Thank you. My owner paid quite a lot of money for it. My owner buys me anything I want.
Where is your owner?
He's not here right now. But he would be if he in any way possibly could. His bus broke down in Pittsburgh, so he's stuck there with the other owners. This is the first show I've ever done alone.
What are you, guys waiting for?
We're all waiting for the human show to begin, of course. If your owner's going to interview, they'd better get you some name tags quick. But then again, why bother? My owner says I'm going to win. I'm the most beautiful human there is.
Well then, good luck.
Who needs luck when you've got beauty?
Smiling people.
Hi.
Humans aren't allowed to roam free here. I'm taking you back to the kennel.
Boy, I wish I had a tentacle costume or something, but I can't even sew.
So we wanted to get the fake buff.
Yeah.
Okay, I flushed it.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, all right. Come on, let's take a walk. Okay, human, do your business.
Security is really lax at this tentacle compound.
I don't know. Do you really try that hard to keep your dogs trapped? Like, where are they gonna go?
That's true.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about time.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
Oh, someone's saying that you can just
What?
shortcut giving stuff around once.
I guess except when she's in jail.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't feel so good.
Again?
Use barf on floor.
Oh, I guess.
He just doesn't care. Wait, what are those things? Can we just leave? Wait, what's... Did we come...
This 400-year-old clock is an amusing example of primitive human timekeeping.
Hey, how'd you get
Whoops.
out?
Well, now we
Get
know.
in there.
Don't worry about it.
I wish Dr. Tentacle would stop losing patience.
Yoo-hoo.
What?
Ooh.
Again?
This feels like an adventure game.
Yep.
Tell me, Lieutenant, how do you really feel about humans?
Honestly, sir, I think they're filthy, obscene, foul, sickening. Like the stuff in your eyes when you wake up. Like the wax that builds up behind your suction cups after a few days.
That's enough, son. I just wanted to be sure you weren't one of those humanist sympathizers. What with this ridiculous human show going on here, there's humophiles everywhere.
I'm no humophile, sir.
That's good. Now let me tell you about a little plan I have.
It has 3 settings: cook, jet defrost, and mutilate beyond recognition. They may be oppressive and power mad, but at least the tentacles recycle stuff. Remove specimen here. It says medulla oblongator. It says medulla oblongator. It says opener. It's a storage cabinet. It's busted up good. It's empty.
Can you open the... I forgot if you can open that. Nothing in it.
It's empty.
Can you open the back window?
No.
I really hope that the joke isn't that no one will destroy the. I really hope the joke isn't that Bernard refuses.
We're gonna have to do something about that.
Maybe Bernard refuses to microwave the hamster, but she'll just go for it.
Looks like they're getting ready for some kind of show or something. There's no way to open it. Why would I want to get through? There's no way to open it. Why would I want to get through there anyway? It's a 2-story drop to the showroom floor.
Ah, so...
Opened up the fluorescence.
Hi, I'm the...
Ooh-wee, you are one ugly human.
Excuse me?
Man, I'm not kidding. You are just about the homeliest Homo sapien I've ever seen.
Are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah, you're a real whoop. I mean, your hair alone is gonna give me nightmares. Not to mention your teeth, your clothes.
I think her hair's cute.
One eye that's bigger than the other.
Gee, how much worse could I get?
I mean, the bit about one eye being bigger than the other
There were
is...
2 of you.
I think I'm going to kill you.
Now, you're never gonna get into the human show with that attitude. Not to mention that face.
No. Ruined honey ball.
Human show? How degrading. You should be ashamed.
Yes, working with humans is degrading, but somebody has to do it.
It is a... What's up with the grates? The thought that slightly horrifies me is that, like, the tentacles are just leaving slime everywhere, and that's why the floors all have grates.
Humans aren't allowed to roam free here.
No, they're in the past too.
I'm taking you back to the kennel.
I wish I had some sort of tentacle disguise.
That just raises further questions.
Okay.
Okay, so we have some options.
Wait, can you go past there? In the past?
No, that's the edge.
No.
We still actually haven't been outside
Wait,
in...
what?
Yeah, in the present. And there's
Oh.
That's true.
Oh, wait.
We've been here.
No, we've
No, we
seen
just
a
saw it
cutscene.
happen.
Franklin, Ben Franklin, soon to be known as the inventor of electricity.
Do you know Red Edison?
Right, he needs
He's
to
a
invent
science
electricity
guy,
in
too.
order to go on
Red
Reddit.
Edison? Scientist? He's just an innkeeper who pretends to be a scientist. And he's not very good at doing either one.
Ben Franklin would totally.
I can't believe Washington and Jefferson picked his inn of all places to write our Constitution.
Shouldn't you say discoverer?
Shouldn't you say the discoverer of electricity?
You think the ultimate power in the universe is just under some rock waiting to be discovered? Ha! I, Ben Franklin, am going to summon power from the sky by sheer force of genius.
I need a little power myself in my time machine.
You are truly whacked, Ben.
Huh, that's what they said about the man who invented bifocals.
Wasn't that you?
Good point. Yes, they were right.
Oh.
I wonder what Red would say about that.
Who cares about that crackpot?
Aren't you the $100 guy?
The $100 guy. Not bad.
I need Red to help me save humanity.
So he's a missionary now, eh? Well, why not? Can't be any worse at that than he is at inventing.
What's so bad about Red?
What can you say about a guy who spent the last 4 years perfecting a left-handed hammer? He's insane. And he steals other people's inventions, too, before they can even apply for the patent. Not that I'm bitter.
Well, see ya.
Carry on.
Isn't Ben Franklin left-handed? Man, it's the lines on this are just like, they're good.
Oh, coffee.
Thanks. I needed a little pick-me-up.
That's how.
Open safe.
That's how decaf works, right?
Yes.
Must sign contract. Must provide for family.
Follow him.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You don't have control yet.
So we tape him opening the.
There's a contract in it. He almost took my hand off with the door.
Season.
If you push her, does the different shape of the sword somehow make a difference?
I like how he looks both ways first.
There's no sword for
Well,
the
you know
grab.
what they say.
Oh.
Oh my
If you want to
god.
save the world, you gotta push a few ladies down the stairs.
Sorry, excuse me.
You were very correct when you said that you basically had to act like an asshole in this. forgot this view. So 57.
Oh, it's the last.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you have to slow it down.
So you've got to record first, probably. How does it work? Okay, it hasn't recorded yet. Is the circle record or is the...
It's already at the end. It's already rewound.
Wow.
It's record. I think the circle must be record. Oh. So, okay, that's recorded, right.
That's.
Okay,
That's
and it's
weird.
the red light's gone, so now you can stop it.
Dr. Fred Edison, Internal Revenue.
What?
Come with us. We'd like to go over some of your records with you. Upstairs.
Is he getting audited?
That's one way to get rid of him. Did not see that coming. Okay, 101.
57, 101.
101, 999, 57.
Dr. Fred Edison, Internal Revenue. With
Oh.
This is definitely a joke that, like, does not work without the voice acting.
Yeah.
Like, you could still do it, it just wouldn't
Yeah.
land in the same way.
Okay, so we should be able to open that now. That's down, I think.
Oops.
Say, what's the
Whoa.
filing date for a BFD 206ZZ insufficient credit applications form? You have until midnight on the 12th working day past the first full moon after the end of your fiscal year. However, you can extend the date of the 1978 waning interest extension anytime before the close of business on the second Tuesday after the first Friday of March. And of course, if you're married, you'd also have to file a K-7209 statement of joint intentions and declare any mutual gift expenditures. Oh yeah, that's right. How do you suppose the Dodgers are doing? Well, their win-loss ratio is 28% below normal. However, the successful slide margin is actually up 3 points since May. I've noticed that they seem to do well with a man on first after a fly ball when the opposing pitcher is left-handed wearing a green hat. Fascinating. Is that a W390B frivolous spending report?
How many of these
No,
are there?
it's another 561AB negative attention statement. I can't believe what a mess these records are. What did you say your wife's name was again? Sandy. Oh yeah. I can't believe what a mess these records are.
Okay.
Can you talk
Did
to
you
him?
say you have a PP41 facilities paraphernalia declaration over there? Nope. Did you say you have a PP41 facilities paraphernalia declaration over there? Nope. What is it?
Are you guys brothers?
Are you guys brothers?
At the IRS, we're all
What have you done with Dr. Fred?
We've got him safely locked in the next room while we go over his books. No, you can't go in and see him. And don't even think about staging some kind of rescue.
Who's your tailor?
Very funny.
I'll just be moseying along.
Keep your nose clean, kid.
If he people in chat
Didn't say you have a
I was
PT
saying
41
that
facility paraphernalia declaration over
the
there.
VCR puzzle totally makes sense as somebody in 1993 playing it, but not knowing the like different play modes and such now.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like, nowadays I just compare it to a record player and, like, that still makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, man, I bet they did not consider that, like, the VCR would be outdated, but the record player would still be relevant to modern audiences.
I like how, like, a common thing that's, like, confusing in adventure games is, like,
The safe
where
is
the X's
closed.
are. But this is a silly game, so they can just draw a giant arrow upstairs.
Yep.
Let's see, it's 101 999 57.
Yay. Doesn't make us write things down.
But yeah, it wasn't that difficult a puzzle.
Yeah.
The only weird thing was the square record button, which
Hmm.
might have been a joke, but I don't think it was funny.
It might have been that a circle was just hard to draw as pixel art.
No, because there's a circle next to it. Like, it was the
Oh.
square was red and the circle was gray. I think it was supposed to be like a weird.
That's weird.
Like,
Yeah.
The
The
VCR
party of
doesn't
the first
bubble
part
up, but I could
shall
check what
hereby
they
be
look
known
like.
as a crazed maniacal.
So, let's go outside because we haven't seen
Yeah, that's
that
true.
area. It's Cousin Ted.
Hey, Ted. Talkative as ever, eh, Ted? Boy, I haven't seen you since I was here 5 years ago.
I like the water animation.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
You haven't changed a whole lot. You know, I bet you'd really like my friend Hoagie.
You can pass out standing up and not drop anything. The two of you have a lot in common.
You could hit him over the head with a bowling ball and it wouldn't faze him. I don't suppose you know where the IRS took Dr. Fred. I bet they've got him all tied up in bureaucratic red tape. Boy, I wish I had as little on my mind as you do. Purple Tentacle's probably taking over the planet by now. I guess first I've got to get Hoagie and Laverne
Just
back.
rubber ducking it.
Well, I'd best be on about saving the world.
I do like that there are a couple. You're talking to someone who isn't responding. It's just you going over
Yeah.
like what you should be doing.
It's pretty good.
I guess not too many birds bathe in the evening.
Oh, check the mail.
Parking lot?
It's empty.
The plot thickens.
Hi. Don't sneak up on me like that.
What are you up to?
I locked my keys in the car.
If you're locked out, why break into the trunk?
I have a spare set of keys in there.
I don't see your keys in the car.
Actually, I lost them somewhere.
Nice crowbar.
Thanks. Don't even think about asking to use it. I need it.
See you later.
Yeah.
I like how there's all these like hints of which ending that they got in this timeline.
Someone wrote "wash me" in the
One
dust.
of the endings of the original game results in this car
Some
being
people think
destroyed.
that washing one's vehicle will make it rain.
Oh?
Uh-huh.
How about that?
It's really dirty.
Yeah, what time is it? Let's do a little, let's get
Yeah.
to...
No, I can do a little more. Just
Half?
Um,
Reminds me of the last time I had the flu.
Can you drink it?
Oh.
Can you feed it to like George Washington and make George
Gross,
Washington
no
like
way.
the
Keep
300-foot tall
out.
mega
Area
president for life?
contaminated with industrial waste. It looks like pureed horseshoe crab.
ugh.
It looks like pureed horseshoe crab.
Oh, it's a motel.
I wonder if we can take the help wanted sign. I remember there was something about a,
Help wanted. Lab assistant. Hardworking drone needed high school diploma not required.
we can take it from the other side.
It's on the other side of the window.
Just because I remember in one of the other times there was a jacket that was, yeah.
I'll just run to the chronojar.
Can we make the U.S. flag into a help wanted
There's
sign?
something in the chronojon.
No, we need to get a picture of
Picture of a tentacle?
a sweet babe with a bikini and a bilox. That's the new flag.
Christine has her own agenda for this game.
My agenda is babes with axes, the same as everyone else's.
We'll play Brutal Legend eventually.
I want to play Brutal Legend.
I'm just a simple woman with simple desires. And it's a babe with the battle axe.
I wish I could help you.
What's this? Help wanted, moronic drone, assist genius, yada yada yada. Well, I'm the only genius around, and you look dumb enough. So pick up your lab coat and get to work.
That's a weird puzzle. I can see why you remembered it.
I didn't actually. There were clues.
I do like the thing of like anytime you give him something, he imagines he's the one who invented it.
Yeah.
So of course, if you give him like help wanted sign, he assumes he wrote it.
No, it said when we looked at it, he said that it was for assistance.
Yeah, that is.
I still wonder what would have happened if we put the help wanted sign on the table.
We take the kite plans.
I don't understand that technical stuff.
Just
What happened to Edna?
we don't know what to do with the cat.
Can you put on a lab coat?
Oh yeah, we should see if we can put it on. Right, just use.
Yeah.
It looks kind of small for me.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming that we're going to.
What he needs is a space heater.
try talking to Washington and see if you can convince him that it should be cold.
Excuse me.
I think we're supposed to steal the log and
Yes.
set it on fire.
Yeah.
Cold enough for you? Oh, why, you don't know the meaning of the word. I spent a winter at Valley Forge. Now that was cold. Why, my spit would freeze before it hit the ground. Cool. Excellent.
I assume at some point we're going to solve a puzzle by adding something to the Constitution. But it would be great if one of the ways of winning the game were to amend the Constitution until the purple tentacle can no longer take over. Fix all the errors in it.
Now just calm down for a second. No use in doing that, it's empty. No use in doing that, it's empty. No use in doing that, it's empty. Air conditioning, I guess.
Open it.
I'm gonna trap them.
Oh, I get it.
Now just calm down for a second.
If you think about it, aren't all teeth trapped? What? What? What?
No!
Use the chronogen.
What?
Could you use these? No thanks. I already have some false teeth.
We should fill the bucket we have while we're here.
Oh yeah, right. Do I have to subdue the teeth first?
Well, that's a stupid thing to do with a perfectly good set of chattering teeth. Well, that's a stupid thing to do with a perfectly good set of chattering teeth.
Could we give them to Johnny Hancock, who also has a pair of chattering teeth?
Would that help?
I feel like that's just the kind of stupid that this game thinks in.
He's already chattering.
So if Bernard sneaks in the window, can he get Ed to sign the contract?
Yeah, I guess we do need to engage in a rescue attempt.
It looks pretty broken.
Whoops.
If the vat of teeth is empty, I think that means some have escaped. So she needs a tentacle outfit.
Oh, she has a tentacle chart. So we give that to, we give the tentacle chart to Betsy Ross.
No, still not the one I want.
I bet we give the tentacle chart to Betsy Ross. Betsy Ross turns the American flag into a purple tentacle outfit, and then you steal it and wear it.
Okay, so there's some things you can't send in time.
If it's too big to fit in the chrono drive, it won't go through.
Yeah, can you imagine what would happen if you tried to flush a coat down the toilet? It's not good for the pipes.
So we're gonna try Andy's idea.
Yeah.
The party of the first part shall hereby be known as a crazed
I'm alarmed by the fact we have both disappearing ink and also whiteout.
Someone asking what a tentacle chart might. When is those going to be used with the Constitution?
No, so the tentacle chart was the health. It was like from the medical room.
Yeah, it's a medical chart for a tentacle.
So I feel very certain that. Okay, so she says, I'd make myself a tentacle outfit, but I can't even sew. Betsy Ross is the only person who can sew. Betsy Ross says, if you have any suggestions for the flag, just put it on the table over there. So I bet we're supposed to just lay the plans on our table.
That could follow. Okay, let's try rescuing him first.
I bet we can't rescue him, but we can get him to sign the contract.
Oh my god, he actually is tied up with red tape.
Seems to have a high tensile.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
What?
I have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, all right. Come on. Okay, human, do your business.
A scalpel. A precious scalpel.
No, that's definitely for the better.
You're not wrong.
I'd rather not.
She should just leave it on the table.
Yeah.
Man, can we make spaghetti? That sounds great.
Can we talk to him? Oh.
I better not. My scoutmaster warned me to be careful.
No. You can't see him underneath the rope.
Seems to have a high tensile strength. I'd rather not.
Yes, the classic use a fork.
There's some IRS guys in the next room.
I thought the scalpel was a really good idea.
Oh, wrong time zone. It was in the future that the flag was there.
Oh. But...
It's nighttime.
Yeah, so the flag is down. Oh.
A A shaft is normally attached here to supply a rotary motive force which is transmitted up the pole.
I wonder if we need to send that to her then.
Oh, yeah. But also, how does she get
Someone
out there?
suggests we can just pick the rope up.
She can just walk out the window, right?
Yeah, we got her up there before. If you do the being sick thing.
Well, alright.
Dr. Fred must still be asleep. I don't know. It's powerful stuff.
Can you cut him open now?
He's all wrapped in red tape. I might hurt him.
Can we tie him back up?
Uh-oh.
Hey, where'd he go? Ah, there you are. I can see this bed through the peephole, you know.
Weird. That's really weird.
I'd rather not.
Can we attach the rope to the pulley outside and then I don't know what?
Yeah, that is true.
Like, I don't...
Oh. I think I know how to do this.
I don't know what it is we're doing.
Oh.
Oh.
Yoo-hoo, Mr. Tentacle Guy.
It's about
You. Ooh.
again.
Listen, I'm just constantly either the washroom or being sick. Secret ending, if you do it too many times, they just decide she's clearly too ill and put her under. Yeah, so it didn't have a crank thing.
Oops.
You know what would be really funny is if the only reason there was no crank is because you took it. Hey, what happens if you put the fake barf on Betsy Ross's table?
Oh yeah, that's great. That's beautiful.
You found Waldo.
That's where they're having the humans show. There's no way to open it. Why would I want to get through there anyway? It's a 2-story drop to the showroom floor.
But now we should be able to go anywhere because we're dressed as a tentacle.
Lieutenant, I want to ask you something. It may trouble you.
Ask away, sir. I can take it. I've got a strong stomach, nerves of steel, bowels of brass.
Cannon, son, this is important. Have any of your friends seemed a bit firm lately?
Ooh, heck. You mean like non-squishy and non-slimy?
That's right. Come closer. I've recently become suspicious that humans might try to infiltrate us.
No!
Though basically stupid, they can be tricky. They may be in disguise.
I like the sort of thing that, like, each zone, like, as you make progress, will have these little cutscenes.
Yeah. Anyway, I think this is probably a good place
Yeah,
to pack it
no,
up.
it probably is. Should trying to think if we should play a little bit more if we want to make sure that we'll actually be able to get through all of it next time.
I'm mostly just curious once you talk to the blue guy is
Okay, let's talk to the blue guy and maybe just go upstairs because now we should be able to do that.
Hello, I'm a tentacle. I'd like to enter my insignificant human in the show.
Oh my, yes, of course. Take these tags and put them on your human and have them wait on the bench in the lobby. Entrance will be judged in 3 categories. Best smile, best hair, and best laugh.
Thank you, fellow tentacles. Unlike humans, you have been very useful.
Oh, thank you. Believe me, it was my pleasure.
Now all I need is a human.
Yowza! That was wonderful.
okay.
I love how absolutely terrible her disguise is.
I like how she's having to like pick up the end of it to walk around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm under strict orders from Tentacle number 1, the almighty elder, the Grand Poobah Purple Tentacle, not to let anyone near this clock.
But I have rights. I'm a tentacle.
And a darn But no one gets to this clock while I'm here. And unless I have to go chase down some escaped humans, I'm glued to this spot.
Rats. You heard the man. Escape!
You're talking to the wrong people. We like it here. We're celebrities.
Stupid tentacle.
Oh my god, is the hamster in there?
Oh!
You're cyanogenically frozen.
Looks like there's some kind of rodent down there.
Can you... Are we going to have to microwave it to defrost it?
The time capsule!
I can't pick it up. Maybe I can open it.
Oh, who has a... Hoagie has a can opener.
It's fastened to the in commemoration of the Constitutional Convention, interred by Thomas Jefferson, A.D. 1790.
Can you take the candles?
Run over by a plow, A.D. 1795. Sorry about the dents.
Can you steal the candles?
You don't need to go take him anywhere to...
Oh yeah, right.
You can
We just need to...
Yeah. They realized after a while that would get tedious. Oh, and then, yeah, so they did a cutscene once, and now it's just a quick thing.
It's a dented old can. It's already open.
I guess there's nothing in it.
I can't pick it up.
I was thinking it would be really...
What's downstairs? We've already been.
It would be
Yeah,
really
we'll
silly.
find the microwave.
Oh yeah.
It would be really silly if, like, the joke here was that they put the log in there, you pick up the log 400 years later, send it back in time 400 years, then burn it in the...
Don't try this at home.
Gosh, I hope this isn't like the primitive, dangerous microwave ovens of my century. Those things could really pop a hamster good. Uh-oh.
No! No!
Open.
That Kids who put hamsters in microwaves back where I'm from get taken away from their parents and put up for adoption. So don't.
This game is so strange.
They got a good talking to from Nintendo.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That was all we needed.
So you can start to already see like the weird way that everything weaves together.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's like what I was really curious about when I played this is like the original Maniac Mansion is this just amazing. It's one of the most non-linear games ever. There's like 4 or 5 different endings, some of which don't really even follow remotely from where you're going. Like there's like a lot of different ways to solve every puzzle, and there's actually a thing where for most of the puzzles, like you have to do it a different way depending on which kids you have in your party. If you want
Yeah, I know. I've heard that from reading about it.
Which also leads to a weird thing where like,
where do we save?
It
the disc.
Like it's possible to let some of your kids die and still complete the game, because there's still so many ways to the ending, and there's multiple ways for most of the puzzles.
That's wild.
So it's like not only is it like there's like certain groups of like 1 or 2 kids that can complete it all by themselves, even if everyone else is dead. But other groups of things you need everyone alive and working together. But this one's it's still really non-linear. It's just a different notion of non-linearity.
Yeah.
It's just
Like-
really broad. It's such a tree that's really broad.
It's very much like the opposite of modern adventure game design, in that it's just like, instead of solving the problem of difficulty by having only a few things to work on at a time, it's like, what if you had access to practically all of the puzzles?
Yeah, it's
almost
really
from the start?
stalling.
It's also good because you're not like, I don't know, you mentioned the thing about it being really quick to move around the place, which is good, but it's also the case that like you don't really need to move around that much because there's always something to do in the room you're in.
Yeah, like eventually it'll narrow as we like complete more
Yeah.
and more of the stuff, but like it is just a sort of like playground almost that they've
Yeah.
set up, which is a design style I kind of miss with.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to do. Like I don't think this is an
There's-
easy style to pull off.
There's also like a lot of the
Wow.
fiddling, like you want to do it just because it's fun to fiddle, you know?
Yeah, no, like when I played it as a kid, the amount of things that we solved without knowing why we were doing it, other than just like, I can see a
Yeah.
connection here, this will be funny. Like,
I think it definitely helps that like they have a setup where it's like you're just encouraged to poke around at things and like just do
Yeah.
this. Why not? It might be funny.
it's like, well, he's got a right-handed hammer, switch it with a left-handed one.
Right.
Like so far we haven't really encountered like any puzzles that have been hard or like, and there's been very few where like we've actually like known like going in like what we want to do.
Yeah, like,
And like when we have, they've often been like fairly straightforward ones.
this definitely, like, when I played it, I hit 1 or 2 snags, and it was usually due to a not spotting something
Yeah.
issue, which...
Well, there's been a couple that like you pointed out that I feel like are like ones that like would have taken me a while to get.
I've tried to only point out ones where I don't remember the
Yeah.
solution. It's just me naturally going like,
Yeah.
okay, this is sort of the connections I'd make.
I do think it is you're like very much like understanding this game's idiom.
Yeah, like I think there definitely is like a literacy to these games, like
Yeah.
them and the old text adventures, where if you sort of, if they were well made and you understood the way that they were meant to be played, like what to sort of look for hints and such, they're not necessarily crazy hard. The problem is that many of them were not well made.
Yeah. No, I mean I feel like that's like a problem I have with both like a lot of like classic adventure games, but also like a lot of like Infocom or like other interactive fiction games. Like I just don't like know how to get into the mindset of like how to approach these puzzles, and that can be like the biggest possible barrier. Like we just never get into it.
Yeah, no, how to approach it, and also like there are so many clues that me knowing some of the puzzles already, I'm like, oh, there was a clue.
Yeah.
They've reinforced it here. They've reinforced it there.
It's good, but if you don't actually know how to think about it, like
Yeah,
not in the
if
right
you're
frame
not
of
used
mind.
to like thinking of every single possible like bit of dialogue as possibly being a clue, that, or every time you like try something and get like a false answer, that might actually be a clue to something you need to do somewhere else. To be honest, I feel like this game is secretly more linear than it feels like. There's definitely some choke points, but at the same time, like there's been a lot of things where I'm like, oh, we could do this right now.
There hasn't been a lot of like long chains of things where like you need one thing for another. Like there's been some with prerequisites, but a lot haven't had them actually.
the long chains tend to be the actual like final goals. So like we need to get vinegar, we have oil, we need to get gold, we need to get croutons and lettuce. I don't know if we actually need all of those things.
It's really interesting because it feels like it's probably going to be like a very like it starts out very broad and then like
Yeah, I want
to like merge together.
I feel like it would actually be really interesting to like actually make a tree of the things in this game, like just diagram it out and say like this requires this and this and this and this and this.
Yeah, there's. I'm trying to remember it's like Boss Keys or something like that. Is a YouTube channel where this guy's been basically figuring out how to diagram out every Zelda dungeon.
That's cool.
And so he basically has a system that's like that. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what this one looks like.
That was why I was so fascinated when Twine became a thing, because it's sort of like there's this thing in computer science theory called deterministic finite automata, and like a Twine game is basically a DFA, but like once you start really thinking about the structure of Twine games, you start realizing that a lot of games like this you could just do as a Twine chart, right? Or just like one of the clicks is like get flag or something, you know?
Well, I mean, it's interesting because usually like the sort of tree design that you do is the opposite, where it starts from one point and branches out to many, as opposed to starts from many points and branches presumably into a single.
Well, this one did also just like start with like one character. You can just do the puzzles that involve that one character,
which is good.
And then you actually I like tools because some of them might be in another time.
I did like that.
It does like nudge you towards like
I did like that you can't unlock the future character until you solve a puzzle in the past. So you can't unlock the future character first.
Yeah. No, there's ways that like where it gates for linearity, and then ways where it goes like, okay, any puzzle in this set can be done. It's really like well done structurally.
Blocking out the future one is good because that means that like you only have one character who can like send stuff like forward.
And it stops you like if you put everything at the beginning, you would have 3 of those houses full of those dense rooms to explore.
Yeah, that's also true.
Explore for a bit. Okay, now you've got the next one. Explore for a bit.
Now you have a feel for the house, which is really good.
It is funny though that like the to-do list. I've got the Sierra mindset, right? Of like you don't leave a room until you've checked every single item, because Roberta Williams is going to put an item in the first room of the game that if you don't pick it up, you're going to be soft locked 4 hours later. So I was going like, there's a to-do chart and a paper. No, you need to look at all that. And Christine's like, I'm going upstairs. If we'd looked at that, we actually probably would have immediately unlocked the past, maybe. Yeah. But it's also the case that like, there's a really weird soft gate there where either you notice the paper at first and you unlock the past immediately, or you're probably going to, like, we did a circuit of the entire house before we came back to the basement and did the to-do list. I feel like
and there's also, like, multiple clues suggesting that you should return there.
Yeah, well, there's a false clue where, like, the first thing that happens is Ed says, oh, it's upstairs. And then you go upstairs, and they're going, it's in the attic. So, like, it's telling you, go upstairs. It's like, it's actually trying to engineer this weird moment where we went through the entire house and then found out where we started.
Yeah.
That's kind of interesting.
I mean, it's worth pointing out also that this is relatively late for LucasArts. They did a lot of iterating before they reached this point.
Yeah, no, there's definitely like Monkey Island is significantly harder than this. This is.
Do you think this wants to be hard? Like, I feel like
I don't think it is.
I feel like there's basically no challenge in this, and I don't really mind because it's just the journey is fun. But like some of the things that like I think really work in this, I'm looking at this and comparing it to Indiana Jones, and like this works way better than Indiana Jones. Because like
Indiana Jones is really dry.
There's a lot of stuff in Indiana Jones where like literally you're having a conversation with someone, and then you like fly across the Atlantic Ocean to New York.
Yeah.
Get a pen out of a drawer, fly back across the ocean to a remote dig site in Iceland to use the pen that you got in New York.
I feel like that could potentially be like the right kind of goofy.
Sorry, what?
I feel like that's fine if it's like it's goofy, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't goofy. It was like very. There were
it's a really straight-faced game, which is very weird.
It's got some humor in it, but it's all like people making jokes or something. It's not like the just sort of like surreality that pervades this one.
It's the same with the Dig. I feel like the least successful ones are the ones where they try to be super serious. Yeah. They managed with Loom to pull it off, to be sort of a mix of serious and
But
irreverent.
Loom
It
is
did, but I
so
don't think-
weird.
yeah, and I don't think like that landed quite as well.
But
as
it's
this
also
does.
like it helps that like the more you're like okay, so the thing it happened here, right? He's covered with a rope, and you had a scalpel, and you're like, why can't I use the scalpel on the rope? And the answer is because you have to take it. But it's like the more you expect real world logic to work, the less well it will work. And so like humor is one way of removing real world logic, but the Loom did it just by like everything's freaking magic.
Yeah. Day of the Tentacle is so much like the Back to the Future game. I had no idea it drew so much from this. That may have had some of the same people on it, because that was
Really?
Telltale, which had ex-LucasArts people. Yeah, the Dig I did not get into. That was like a long worked on Steven Spielberg joint that like there's versions of it you can find graphics that looked like it was EGA and it ended up being like a late LucasArts CD-ROM game with like painterly stuff. But it was very it felt the most like a Myst game. Like it's full of devices to mess with.
It sounded really dry. Like it didn't. I remember. Okay, so I was a Mac user in the 90s, which meant that I couldn't ever play video games at all. So I just voraciously read all of the Sierra Mac. Like Sierra had like a newsletter. I read all of those cover to cover, imagining what it would be like to be able to play PC games.
Yeah.
And like I didn't know what the hook on the Dig was. Maybe it was just aimed at adults, but like
It was. I think it was supposed to be sort of like the find a mysterious civilization on a planet.
Yeah,
explore kind
but
of
that
like
was the
the
plot of
abyss.
Indiana Jones. So
type thing. Grim Fandango manages what I feel is like the more modern Tim Schafer thing, which is to have a lot of comedy but also to have a dark underbelly
I still haven't
that
played.
works
I feel like
melodramatically.
that's something that works really well. Well, I mean, like when I think of like adventure games, honestly, like the thing that really got me was like the Ace Attorney games. Like I wasn't able to get into them during this era, but like later, and like those are both incredibly dark, frequently about murder, and also very funny.
Yeah,
like
no,
it's a very good way of.
It totally is, and eventually, like this team sort of hits on that, but they often tried to separate the two early on, and like the comedies work really well. Like the Sam and Max from this era is also great, and a road movie sort of. Except that, of course, because it's an adventure game, you keep being able to go back to the same places.
Right.
Yeah, that's always.
It does have the world's biggest ball of twine. But then, whenever they did serious ones, I felt like they were not as successful. Partially because, it's harder to design fun puzzles. It's harder to make dialogue fun to go through.
Well, I don't think they have the vocabulary for doing dialogue. Like, I like in an interesting way.
Not in an interesting way.
Like, I feel like that's honestly, like, it's a relatively unexplored space. I feel like a lot of games now even, like, kind of struggle to make dialogue really interesting. Like, that's... This was, again, like, something like I went into Lady Killer, like, really thinking about that, and, like...
Yeah.
Like, the systems that we made for that, I think, help a lot, but also, like, there's a lot of underpinnings to it, and, like, you need to have, like, a mechanical basis for it.
Did you give a GDC talk on this?
I gave a talk recently at a conference in Cologne for the Cologne Game Lab, talking about exactly this, dialogue design.
I see. Yeah, so Lady Killer, which is her BDSM lesbian sex game, it's very good, very BDSM lesbian sex is, I would say, its most prominent element. But like it's got a thing where the conversations in Lady Killer are really, really naturalistic. So like there'll usually be more than one person in the conversation, and like if you don't say anything, they'll just kind of keep talking, but you can jump in at any time. But there'll also be times where like it's directed at you, and you can say something, or you can just not say something, and there's a really awkward silence, and then the awkward silence results in like social consequences because what just happened. But like it's definitely like these are like all of these kinds of dialogue trees are like twine games. It's like click, 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 click.
And that was also how a lot of RPGs worked at the time.
Yeah, and it never works. It's like it falls into like a couple patterns, right? Like there's like the tree where like you just click on the first item over and over until you've heard everything, and then like, or like there's one little like tree where you have to do something, and then like when you come back, it's like I want to ask you about the cherry tree again, and like the ones in Indiana Jones were like so deep and so complicated, and it felt just the opposite of naturalistic because it would be like,
you need to talk to this guy about like the works of Plato. There's okay, it's kind
If there's a thing where you're like desperately trying to nudge the conversation in the direction of Plato, that's fun. But like I feel like in general, like once you're thinking about things as like a tree, you have to exhaust.
It's weird because like you keep failing at this conversation and having to walk like 10 steps back, and then you walk 10 steps forward and restart it and try to find the path through this. You've had the same conversation like 6 times, but until you hit the exact right sequence of steps, you can't get past this bit of tree.
Yeah. Life is Strange had one like dialogue puzzle that was really good about that. I think it's the one in like it's in episode 4. We were trying with Frank and like.
I'm trying to remember. It's been
and
a
like
while.
like you just like constantly either get murdered or like Chloe gets killed or like he dies, and you're just constantly rewinding and like okay this is the one for sure.
But that
no really that still push you off. And it's good because you only do this once in the entire series.
Yeah.
But
also
like,
it works
once. It's funny. It would have overstayed its welcome if you're doing it repeated.
Someone's asking if that talk is available.
No, it's not. The talk I did it was repurposed from a talk I did at GDC. It is last year. If you look for the micro talk sessions, they're both in the vault and also on YouTube, so that you can just like watch for free. It's a little quicker and like doesn't go into quite as much detail, but does give some examples.
I think like with all that said, what this like given that they had the convention at the time was the tree dialogue.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at just being like, here's a bunch of amusing
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, no,
But it is
it's good as a joke delivery mechanism. I think there's some more things you can do, and there's more like if you have a richer vocabulary, you can like have even better joke delivery.
This
but,
feels
this is definitely like.
This feels like they've mastered the dialogue tree idiom, and part of mastering it was realizing don't do it.
Or basically use it as jokes. There is a great like you probably didn't get far enough in Monkey Island, and maybe it's someday we'll do that one. But it has an entire combat system.
No,
that's
really
good.
Interesting.
That's lovely.
Super good.
Yeah, no, the insult sword fighting sounds.
It
does
really
sound like an interesting,
smart, interesting use. They're saying some of the suspecting that it was. Some of it was that the serious ones didn't have Dave Grossman and Tim Schafer bouncing off of Ron Gilbert.
Wait, so did Dave? Who went on to do Telltale?
I'm not.
Is there actually a thing where LucasArts split into Double Fine and Telltale?
It's split into multiple things because basically, like LucasArts, my understanding, and like I could be getting history stuff wrong here, is basically Grim Fandango cost a lot of money. It was critically acclaimed. It did not make a lot of money.
Okay.
And so basically, at that point, there was a move away from doing new original adventure games. I think they did. There's like one Monkey Island that doesn't have most of the original team. Some people split off to form Telltale. I'm not entirely clear on who those people were.
Okay.
Tim Schafer and Ron Gilbert both went off into the wilderness to work on various projects of their own. Tim Schafer eventually forms Double Fine. Sometimes Rob Gilbert comes and joins in and helps out on stuff there, and sometimes he leaves and does his own thing, like Thimbleweed Park. So the two of them go back and forth between working together.
I like the idea of like Ron Gilbert as being this kind of Clint Eastwood-like character, like rolling into town, writing a script for a narrative video game, and then leaving, and everyone's like, who was that? It's the other guy from the one
Dave
who wasn't Tim
Grossman
Schafer.
was the Telltale founder.
Oh, okay.
So I think like all of those people worked on this one, if I remember from the opening credits.
So I was going to say it would be kind of like one of the things that's kind of famous about. Not everyone I know has had a good experience there, but one of the things that's really famous about Double Fine is it being kind of not such a bad place to work. So I like the idea of like a split where like one of them forms like a legendarily good to work for software company, and the other forms Telltale.
Yeah, and like mostly there hasn't been a lot of actual like adventure games coming out of Double Fine. Like there's been
True.
Yeah.
They started with it and then they moved away really quickly.
Well, they always even started with like hybrid stuff. Like it was their stuff is always like trying to weave narrative into other genres.
No, that's interesting. So Double Fine Adventure was Double Fine Adventure the first.
That was the first time they were doing.
That was just hardcore point and click adventure.
It was still very much of the current trend of being fairly linear.
It was also very. I think it was one of those games that was no verbs, all inventory. Inventory items are verbs.
And very simple, like it
But
had
that was
views,
nice.
Like
it came out at it came out at the perfect time to do that though, because it was just as the iPad. It was just at the peak of the iPad era.
It unfortunately had a bug that I still don't know if it's been fixed, because it's very easy for people to think that you're getting confused about the bug because it involves a procedural puzzle, which I just think should never be put into adventure games.
I see.
I don't think they yes, they stop people from looking at facts, but they also add a huge amount of unnecessarily complexity.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, that's...
Oops.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, at some point we're definitely maybe in the next year we'll do Brutal Legend.
Yeah,
I would love to do Brutal Legend.
I'm looking forward to that.
I love that game. Not so much. I think the mechanics are really interesting in it, but it's just the writing and the way the writing's integrated with the game.
I actually really like Jack Black.
Then you'll really like this because I think
Awesome.
it's really good casting for him.
Also excited for that. Anyway,
It's him with writing by Tim Schafer.
It's cool.
Which is better than I think most of the people who get to write for him.
that is true.
This was apparently the first one where Ron Gilbert and Gilligan weren't on the main team. They had been on Monkey Island and they were working on Monkey Island while this was in the making. They were credited though. I think all of people were in the same office. The sense I get is that there was a lot of stuff being bounced off each other.
Yeah.
At LucasArts.
Interesting.
And then slowly, corporate actually started to pay attention to money that was being spent.
Oh, that's never a good thing.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, we'll be back next Sunday with probably the end of this. Although it says we're only 32%, so maybe it'll be 3
We'll see.
sessions.
Anyway, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Bye.